Good morning everyone. So this is our third class. I hope you are all doing good. So I think yesterday we were discussing about the unit 1. So what are the chapters in unit 1? Let me do a synopsis, just a recap of the previous class. So it will be also helpful for you. So what we did is that yesterday we were discussing about our first unit, and in that we also told the introduction part, in which we will be covering all the basic concepts. Apart from that, there is dimensions of ethics which will be covered separately, and this helps you mainly in clearing your case study part. And another two more topics is human values. Human values is nothing but the values contributed are from the lessons learned from the reformers, administrators, leaders. This topic will be there, and I most probably I will compare this with the 5th unit. Both will be put together and will be taught to you. That will be easier for you to understand. And the last topic is role of society, educational institutions, in inculcating values within you. So this is the first unit which we will be covering within a week or within 6-7 days. Then we started with our definition of ethics. So we defined ethics, right? Probably we also took 2 or 3 examples so that you can understand very clearly. And I also said how you are facing an ethical dilemma in your case studies, and this is how UPSC will also ask questions to you, like we will be facing a dilemma in that situation where 2 or more options are equally justifiable and you doesn't know what to choose. In that situation, I already told you that good morning Mr. Abhijit. So in that case, if you are facing a situation like that, I already said you have to go for the prescribed ethics part. In that you will be finding 3 or 4 types of ethics, the deontological ethics, particularly the teleological ethics is the one which we are using most of the time in order to choose our options. So this is how we also was discussing about Niketa Mehta case, and as well as Savita Halappanavar, Dr. Savita Halappanavar's case. And both cases we said in case of Niketa Mehta there was no ethical dilemma at all, but in case of Savita Halappanavar there is an ethical dilemma, and we also said how we have to choose the greater among 2 goods or lesser among 2 evils, right? Then after that we also shifted our topic to law and ethics, because we draw a diagram. In that we have some terms which we doesn't know, so we should always clear it and then move forward. So we went to law and ethics. In law and ethics we also define what is law. So what is the difference between law and ethics, right? And we also said not all illegal acts are immoral, because always there is some interlinking, but completely they cannot be overlapped. So we gave 2 sentences. In that 2 sentences we also subdivided into again 2, because this question is repeatedly asked in 2015 and 16. So most probably again there is a chance for repetition, and in the same format or in the different format, but the answer might be the same. They might be asking what is the difference between law and ethics and what is the similarity, and they act as a 2 faces of the same coin. Like this we saw the topic. Then we went to human values, I hope so. So we touched the human values. I said what is values. For that I also explained through India-Bhutan relationship, and also instant from Mahabharata. And like this we defined what is values, and we also said there is 2 types of values, that is instrumental and intrinsic. This is a major division of values. For that also we also explained with an axe story, and with that we completed our value systems. Then right, and I hope so I gave definitions for you too. Should we have to complete anything in values? I also we have done. Let me check it out for you. Then we will move to the next heading. Right, we have done, I hope so. So we also took notes about instrumental and intrinsic values. Now we have to do with it. So in our diagram yesterday, we gave a diagram for ethics definition like this. Be easy for you to revision also. We said ethics, right? Any diagram we can take. We can say like this: evaluates. Good morning. Evaluates human conduct right? So we said like this. So I was just giving a recap, so need not panic, we have not taken anything new. So we are going to discuss now the new topic. So I just summarized yesterday events, and today we are going to start with human conduct, right? Human conduct. So already we said what is meant by conduct. Conduct is nothing but behavior, how a human behave, how he act, for certain circumstances or in certain situations, how a human is acting. So this is nothing but we can call as actions, human actions. So your first topic in first unit is essence, determinants and consequences of ethics in human action. This is the first topic, okay. But this, before seeing this, we also has to see 2-3 more topics. One is that I'll write here, otherwise we will forget. Ethics and religion, ethics and morality. This we will be seeing. Then we will be touching our main topic, right? First we have to see about human actions, right? Human actions. So I already said that there was the questions, you can't understand that from which area this question has been shoot out. Already in 2018 there was a question which was asked like this, anger and intolerance are enemies of correct understanding. This is a quote given by Gandhiji, and they asked you that whether you agree or not, or explain something like that. I don't remember the question properly, so it was like this. So before going into a subject, I want to tell one thing. When you are doing an answer writing practice, you should know what are the vocabularies which is used by UPSC, such as explain, okay, then describe, illustrate, all those things you have to know the meaning, and then first you have to understand. I hope there are some 15 terms like this which UPSC uses in the question. So when you are taking a whole question paper, you will come to know about it. Explain will be there. So like this, some 15 terms are there. You have to define is there like this. So you go and identify those terms, take a note, write it. If any of your teachers is doing it, is better. If not, you do the work and understand what is the real meaning of that word, because while writing question there is variations. When you are while writing question, there is variations, okay. From each and every time there is a slight variation, so you have to understand the meaning, then only you can write the answer in a proper format. We said when we are writing answer, content is important, same manner format is also important. The way you present is also very important, and the structure of the answer, only when you understand this, you can get the structure of the answer in the proper format, right? So now we will go to the actions. So what they say is that ethics always evaluate human actions. You cannot evaluate an animal action, no? Can you evaluate? Only human actions can be evaluated, and they also say that it should be a deliberate action. Okay, it should be deliberate action. There is a particular word which they use for this. If you want, you can write actus humanus. Okay, it should be a deliberate action. It should be a human action as well as it should be a deliberate action in order to evaluate those actions using ethics. Ethics means nothing but a set of moral principles. Now we are going to see how human actions, when a human action can be evaluated. For that we can draw a small diagram, right? So what types of actions can be evaluated based on the moral principles? This is what we are going to see now. Like this. You can draw a triangle. First, the action should be performed with knowledge. Second, it should be voluntarily done. Third, with free will. Human action. HA means human action. So, these are the three terms which you have to remember when you are going to evaluate a human action. Even while delivering a judgment, a judge will be considering all these factors. Then according to it, the punishment terms also increases and decreases. The intensity of the punishment varies based on the manner the crime has been committed. So, we are saying the human action has to be performed with knowledge, and it should be done, it should be voluntarily done, and it should be done with free will. So, let me tell a story for you. Right. What happens? I hope you might have heard this story. It is the lady and the mongoose. It's an animal story. So, what happens? One time the lady has adopted the small mongoose which has lost its mother in the forest, and she brought it home, and she was taking care of the mongoose, and she also had a small baby, right? So, what happened? She wanted to go outside to fetch water now. So, what she did? She asked the mongoose that you take care of the child, I am going to fetch water because there is nobody, and it's a village area, the houses are far apart. What happened? The lady left and she came back after 1 hour because this is a serious issue in India, still we are facing it. We have to go walk some 2-3 hours to fetch waters, and so what happened? She came back after 1 hour with a pot of water, and the moment she came, she saw the mongoose sitting in front of her house with the blood in its mouth. The moment she saw that scene, something flashed in her mind. She thought that this mongoose, everybody told me you should not trust. It's an animal, but I trusted it. Now he has bitten my child, and I think he has killed him. And the moment she became fearful, she dropped her pot on the mongoose head because of anger, and she killed the mongoose, and she went inside and she saw that her baby is definitely fine, and it was there playing, and nearby she saw a snake was killed by the mongoose. The mongoose has killed the snake, that is why it had blood in its mouth. But she mistakenly thought that this mongoose has killed a child. So, what is the moral of the story? What do you understand from the story? Because, uncontrollable emotions. So, we are seeing about human action. Same time, we should also see about the impediments of human actions. We can say like impediments of human action. What are the impediments or impediments to? We can call like that, that will be better. Impediments to human action means what are the things which are going to disturb a human's mind to act in the stable manner. When you are very clear, I hope you understand this. When you are very clear, you will be able to grasp and observe everything. Yes, Mr. Abhijit has heard this story in school. Definitely he has studied his moral science, I hope so. So, you also, very nice. So, what happens when we are I already told ethics is the one which is going to bind you, tame you, and it's going to shape you. So, what you have to do is, whenever your emotions is uncontrollable, you will not perform better. It may be your life deciding event, it may be your exams, it may be your future plans, anything. So, when you are not controlling your emotion at the right place, you can't perform well. That is how, whenever you are in the fear, the anger mode, they say you should not decide anything, you should at least keep silent, so that after your angerness has been left you will know the reality. Okay, first you have to understand the situation. How you will understand? Your mind is not in the stable situation. This was asked as a question. Anger and intolerance. Nowadays in India these two are anger and intolerance. That is the main culprit. That is the main culprit for a lot of problems which is happening in India, particularly the intolerance. People are nowadays not tolerable to the diversity feature of Indians. We all are diverse. Each and every one are not same because we are not of the same gene. We do have different genes. Definitely, each and every one who belong to the same place also behaves in a different manner. So, intolerance and anger, both the things are the very worst tool in order to destroy the correct understanding of you. That is why when you are going to a personality test, the examiner will not test your brain power or not the memory power. He will test how far you are tolerable, how far you are stable in your views. That is how the questions like, when I take the hand of your sister and run away, what will you do? The questions will come to you like this. And if you are very angry and intolerable person, you may think how this person dared to say to me like this. And if you feel like that, the moment you feel, you can't say outside because he is the senior. You can't tell outside, but if the moment you feel in your mind, then what happens is, good morning, sorry. So what happens, the moment you feel, you will lose your stability, your balance will go, that moment he will capture you. And the rest 20 minutes or 25 minutes, you will do the poor performance in your life, and then you will be kicked out of UPSC. This is how many of your seniors are suffering after getting into they will be crossing mains 3 or 4 times. If you go and interact with them, you know, but they do have a poor uncontrollable emotion within them. That is why the experts are sitting there in order to read your minds. So we will be training in such a manner that we will not have this. Same. Right, so this is a story you can consider for that. Now you see, with knowledge, so anything, whenever you are doing a particular thing, first of all you have to observe the facts and figures. That is how the case study is given in order to read your mind. When a case study is given, you have to read it line by line and you have to understand it and underline the facts first of all. That is the way you have to approach the case study. Already that day, Miss has also made some, mistake, that this is how we make a mistake. We don't observe properly. When we don't observe properly, when we are in fear, definitely we will not understand what is given in that paragraph. So there should be a knowledge. When knowledge comes, knowledge will be there with everyone. But when we are in a stable mind, our knowledge will work in a proper manner. So this point you have to know. With knowledge, suppose an action is done with knowledge, that is without ignorance. There should not be any ignorance. Right? Without ignorance, it should be done without ignorance. Second point, ignorance is one of the impediment to human action. If you are considering ignorance, right, then it is very interesting to share something with you related to ignorance. Suppose in India, this word ignorance is existing, is present everywhere, we can say, omnipresent ignorance. Particularly our legislative body, the one who is sitting and making legislations, they have enormous number of the second fact. Because previously, like 1 year before, one incident happened in Tamil Nadu. There was drought everywhere. There was drought. So the rivers and lake has been draining the enormous manner. So what they did, one of our minister, it's very shame to say, but we have to say this. One of our minister went there with the PWD officials. Think that PWD officials, and he went. He is Mr. Sellur Raja. He is called Sellur Raja, and he went there. And the Vaigai Dam. Have you heard that? It is in Tamil Nadu. In geography, you will be studying all this. Vaigai River is there. Yes, Vaigai River. So there is a dam constructed over Vaigai River. He went there with this PWD officials, and they went in a boat and they took number of thermacoals. Thermacoals. Where the false ceiling we use, the white color thermacoals. With that they went and they were putting the thermacoals all over the Vaigai Dam. It will float. It's weightless, right? So once they put and they come back, the thermocol also came back along with them. And the media asked them, why are you dropping thermacoals in the water? And he said, in order to avoid transpiration. What is transpiration? Evaporation. The water is getting evaporated because sun is there. To cover the dam, we are putting thermacoals. So your ministers, one who we are going to serve, will be like this, right? So this is ignorance, and the better way to say is that when the Tiwari Dam, I hope so it's Tehri Dam or Tiwari Dam, so go and verify, I don't remember properly. What happened there also, one of our minister, that was an issue. The dam cracked, leaked, and a lot number of people died in that incident. And when asked about that, he said crabs are responsible for the crabs living in the dam is responsible for crack in the dam. The crabs are responsible. He said crabs, the crustacean crabs, because a lot number of crabs has increased in an enormous level. That is why they destroyed the dam, and the dam broke and the water came out. So this is how our ministers are living luxuriously and foolishly. So with ignorance, if you are ignorant, we can't call this ignorance, we can call fool. So what we can say is that without knowledge, that is why whenever an IAS officer is going to rectify some social evils which is happening in their district, what they have to do is that first they have to survey the district. When you are writing a case study, you should remember always when they are describing some social evils, like suicide is happening a lot, suicide is happening in this district because farmers, drought is there, farmers suicide is happening, what measures you will suggest. Same way, like lot of social evils will be described and they will ask you to give some measures. First you have to say, I will survive and study my district and then understand about the situation, and then you have to give your options. First you have to survey, that is the first step you have to take, because you have to first study. Without knowledge you cannot plan anything, okay? Understood? Understood. So when a human action is done with complete knowledge, with complete known, everything, the facts is known to him, and then he is doing that action, even though he knows that it is wrong, because an IAS officer know it is wrong to always collaborate with the politician and then give a mining lease to a particular company which the politician owns. That sand mining is happening in an enormous level at various river banks. He knows it is wrong because it is going to affect the livelihood of the people who is residing nearby the banks. So even though he knows and he does it, then definitely he has to be evaluated under ethics. He has to be evaluated. Then come to the second one, voluntarily done. What is the meaning of this? The action has to be done with knowledge. It should be voluntarily done, and it should also be done with free will. Three things are there. So second one is voluntarily done. What is voluntarily done? Willfully. Then what is free will? There should be some difference. Every time we always interchangeably use these terms.
Free will means like without any other external force affecting us, like pressure, force in the sense of inducement or say coercion.
Yeah, that is right. You are right. But then voluntary is not that, no? So what is voluntary? In our small classes, we might have studied about. I think he has asked some question. For what he gave this, I doesn't remember, right? See, so what you have to do is, what I was saying, yes, voluntary, right? In small classes you might have studied about involuntary and voluntary actions,
Yes.
What is that? What is involuntary action? What is voluntary action? Without knowing. Cute. She has said without knowing. Okay. Any other?
It's like spontaneous.
Okay. See, I will tell a small example for you. Then you will understand and you will tell what is voluntary and involuntary action. Okay. So my daughter, she don't live with me. I have a daughter and she is 6 years old and she is very notorious for her activity, mischievous one. So what we do, we always go and chat with her in Skype and otherwise phone. So one day I was calling her and I was asking where is she, and she was coughing continuously. Then I asked my mom what happened. Then she said she always whenever it rains she go outside. Whatever I do she is not listening to me, because she is my daughter, grandchild. They will always don't even tell anything to her, you know. She is the pet of them. So she gave the phone to me, you advise her. Then I asked what happened. I never advise her, because we should not advise children. That is the first thing we have to learn as a mother. We should not advise children because they will advise us. Then what happens? I asked her what happened. Why are you coughing? What happened to your sweet voice, dear? Then she said, you know, mother, there was raining. It was raining, so otherwise she will say, no, I didn't do. Your mom is telling lies. She will tell like that to me. And she said, yes, mom, you know, it was raining and it is very nice. I want to play in the rain. So what happened? I was seeing, but I know that you will scold me, na. So I don't want to go. But my legs, involuntarily, you know, it was voluntarily walking. It was voluntarily. Involuntarily, I was walking towards the rain. Involuntarily, my leg was going like this. I was coming back, my leg was going. I was coming back, my leg was going. Then I said, oh, it's interesting, na? Interesting, you're teaching me science, right? Then, so this is how, now you understand, I hope so. Voluntarily means it is under your control. You're controlling some action. You're controlling. But involuntary means it is without your control. That eye reflexes, the way you blink the eyes, sneezing, then breathing, thinking. Even thinking is involuntary. You can't control your thoughts. That is why we are saying it has to be brought under voluntary. You have to control through some means and mechanisms. So these are voluntary and involuntary, difference between that. And with free will. For this I will give an example. The two combinedly will take an example, right? So if somebody is coming and giving a gun to me, giving a gun in my hand, and he is saying that you have to shoot someone, right? You have to shoot someone. If you shoot, then I will leave everybody who is sitting in this region, in this place with you. So I am in the, let us consider like this. I am in the bank. So a person has entered into the bank and he said, you have to kill the cashier. Okay, otherwise I will shoot everyone who is sitting here. Then at the moment he said, if I am killing that cashier, I am killing that cashier. Okay, what is this type of action?
Without free will.
Without free will, because somebody is pressurizing you and you are also voluntarily doing it, because the control is in your hand. Okay, the control, but you are not doing with free will. Without free will you are doing it, but the control is in your hand. And suppose he comes to you, and even though you don't kill the person, he comes and gives the gun in your hand and pulls the trigger. Okay, the gun is in your hand, but he pulls the trigger, then it is an involuntary action because you didn't do it, because it is not under your control, and again you are not doing with free will. Okay, suppose if you are deciding in the situation that, right, if he is giving a decision to you, right, if you kill the cashier, everybody from here can escape. It is up to you. Otherwise, he is not putting any pressure. He is saying that this is the option. I can also give some amount for you. You will become rich. Then now your brain starts to think. Then either you may choose the right path or you may choose the wrong path. Now the free will is with your hands and you can do the action voluntarily. Do you understand? So this is a difference. So when a human action is performed with knowledge and with voluntariness, along with free will, without any pressure in his mind, then definitely the action has to be evaluated based on ethical terms, right? So this is the first one we have to learn. Then you have to learn two things from voluntary. Voluntary, there are two types of voluntariness. Understood till this? Yes. With your the complete control is in your hand, that is voluntary. You are controlling your actions. Nobody is doing in your place. So that is voluntary. In this voluntary, we are going to split this into two. Directly voluntary, voluntary in cause. Two types of voluntary are there. This you will see in some other books as acts of double effect, but you can't understand that, what they are coming to say, because they think if they confuse, that is called ethics. But you have to clarify, you have to be clear in your concept. So voluntary in cause is sometimes called as acts of double effect. So even if you go and read, you can't remember what it is given there. So first tell me what is directly voluntary and voluntary in cause. Mr. Tarun Kumar, good morning. Have you heard this term anywhere?
Does voluntary cause make sense? It starts voluntarily, but in effect, it is not voluntary.
right? It starts voluntary and in effect it's not voluntary.
Might be it's like he doesn't want the desired consequences to happen, but the consequences.
But it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. For example, we can take a fighter pilot. Fighter pilot. Let us consider this person. He will always come under to this, and the doctor we can say, right?
Yes.
Suppose 2 examples we can take, then you will understand better. A fighter pilot is there. Okay, now he has to destroy the enemy army camp. Enemy's army base is there. He has to go and destroy the. Suppose A is there. A has to go and destroy the B's army camp. Army base or military base is there. He has to go and destroy that. Now he is the fighter pilot. Now the plan was given to him. The army base is always located in some district or some places where the residents, civilians also will be there. Innocent civilians will also be residing in that area. Now he has to drop bombs and then kill then destroy the complete army base. Now this pilot knows that the action which he is going to perform is only destroying the army base. But when he is doing this action, definitely there is some side effect that the innocent civilians will also get killed. Innocent civilians will also get killed in it, right? Am I right or not? Wrong. So he knows that, right? He knows that definitely the civilians will also be get killed, but he can't help with it. This is nothing but a double effect. One thing, the main aim of him is to destroy the army military cantonment area. Otherwise what happens, then the A's country will be affected. They will target the A's country. In order to protect his country, his duty is to destroy the military camp of B near the border area. But at the same time, he knows that if he does it, there will be definitely a loss to innocent civilians also. But he has to do it. This is called voluntary in cause. Same way, yesterday we were discussing about the doctor, Savita Halappanavar case. Suppose that woman is under complications, and if she is in India, definitely she would have been aborted because she was under 20 weeks of her pregnancy. So when you are a doctor, if she comes to you, she knows you know that you have to perform the surgery to Savita in order to help her. Okay, you are going to perform the surgery in order to save her. But also you know that there is a second effect. If you perform the surgery, the child will get killed. Right? So this is voluntary in cause. This is occurring voluntary in cause. You know the effect. It is not happening without your knowledge. You know when you are doing this will definitely happen. But even though you know the effect, you have to perform that in order to protect someone or in order to protect a country. So this is which is happening with our military people as well as the doctors who are performing their duties. And you can also say share any experience if you know. So these are examples for voluntary and in cause. And directly voluntary is nothing but directly the doer is doing the action. That is called directly voluntary. Okay, do you understand? Understand? Still this? Done? Right. So we will complete the impediments. Impediments also we can give us points. Impediments. From this area, always UPSC will ask from the consequences and negative sides or what are the thing which has to be filled up. From that part, the questions will arise. So impediments to human action only the questions will mostly be targeted. In that I already told 2 times question has appeared. One is the Gandhiji quote is there. Again you go and verify the long back there was a direct question. Right, what are the impediments which is happening towards the human action? The question was like that. So first we wrote what are the points we have taken? Ignorance we have taken, right?
First one is
uncontrollable emotions. So what are emotion? This is a separate chapter for you. Emotional intelligence is there for you. Emotional intelligence, you have to study that. When you are crossing the chapter, you will be a full mature person. How you have to control your emotion, you know that. So uncontrollable emotions. Okay, so what are the uncontrollable emotions? You can give some example for that, like fear, anger, depressions. There are 7 emotions, basic emotions. From that there are sub emotions which we derive. Okay, depression, sadness, sad. Okay, all these things you can say. Uncontrollable emotions. Then you can also write pathological states. What is pathological state? Anyone? Yes, diseases, huh? Right, any type of disease, dementia, huh? Like that. Okay, if a doctor is present, we can ask what are the diseases which makes a human not to act like a human. One such thing is dementia, forgetfulness is there. Then you can also take one more thing, that is habits. Habit. It's for some people that it might be a habit, they will be like that. Even though they know it is wrong, they will perform that, because they can't leave their ego, their habit systems which they practice for a very long time, and it is very hard to change a habit. And that is why there is a behavior change strategy which is going on. Have you heard this word? Whenever a scheme is formed nowadays, they are saying you have to first change the behavior of the people. Behavior change strategy. To change the behavior, first of all you have to create the awareness, then you have to change the behavior which the people is performing as habits for a very long time. Even though you construct a toilet for them, they say we feel very refreshed when we go outside. So this is a habit which they have for a very long time, we have to change it. So these are the things, these are the impediments we can call when we are doing a human action like this. You can also add, if you have any more, you can also add violence, all those things, violence. Okay, that is called intolerance. The question also appeared, violence. Violence, the basic cause for violence is intolerance, if you say. Intolerance, not only the caste based violence. Recently news also appeared in the newspaper. What happened? There was a fight for parking. Parking lot fight was there. In Delhi this is happening nowadays. Noida. Everywhere. In Karol Bagh, in Rajendra Nagar, if you go, they will park in two sides of the road and you have to travel in the middle of the road. Only less space, like warm we have to cross the street. So in Noida there was a fight for parking and all, and case was also filed. See, so there is intolerance. People can't tolerate because that was his shop. Somebody has come and parked this bike and he is not able to tolerate that this person has parked a bike in front of my shop, and he started fighting. Okay, so these are the impediments to human action, we can say. Right? Done? Shall we take the notes? Then we will move to the next one. Yesterday till which we have completed, where we have stopped yesterday? Values, na? So you have just take a tabular column for values and ethics, the difference between values and ethics, then start this one. Values, tabular column. Now we are taking notes, students, we are taking notes. Adjust camera. Okay, so you have to take a tabular column now. We are going to differentiate ethics and values. So first, in first column write values, second ethics, okay. Right. So values, ethics. First point, it's a set of individual principles. Under values, it is a set of individual principles. Individual principles. It is a set of universal moral. Under ethics, it is a set of universal moral principles. Under ethics, it is a set of universal moral principles. Universal moral principles. Under value, second point, it varies from person to person. It varies from person to person. Under ethics, standard. Standard. They are standard principles. Third point under values, it determines what is important first. It determines what is important first. Then under ethics, it determines what is right first. What is right? What is right first? Okay. What is right first? Which one?
This what is important first and what is important.
Yes. Values, na? Why you are having value systems in your life? Because you want to know, you want to achieve your goal, right? For that you are going to prioritize your values and you are having the value systems in order to help you achieving the goal. So you know what is important in your life first, for that only you are having the values. But in ethics, whenever you are performing an action, they are not going to talk on behalf of the goal or the aim or the destination where you are going to reach. They are going to assess you whether this act you have performed is right or wrong. Okay. So values will help you to identify what is your goal, which is important in your life. According to that, according to your preferences only, your values also varies. I also said it varies from stages also, from the early childhood, then adolescent, then when you are matured person, the value systems varies, keep on varying based on the goals and the importance in your life. But ethics is not like that. It is a standard principles, and whenever you are performing any act, it will assess whether it is right or wrong. Okay? Do you understand? Now come to the today's area. So we'll take some human actions, human actions. In that, I hope you have done that diagram, na? You are done? You have done it, so we need not dictate that, but take this one. In ethics, under actions, in ethics, we are going to speak about.
Are we doing the tabular column?
No, not tabular column. Finished. Now we are going to speak about the actions, no? Human actions. Human actions. Again we have to do it, but this is a short definition which we are going to take. Then we will do it in the elaborate manner. So human actions. So the types of action which we are going to speak about with related to ethics. Okay, speak about with related to ethics means which action we are going to evaluate. That is the meaning. Related to ethics. First one. It is human actions. It is human actions. It is human actions and not, first point in that, it is human actions. It is human actions. Human actions and not any animal oriented actions. It is human actions and not any animal oriented actions. Animal oriented actions. Second point. It should be a deliberate. It should be a deliberate human action. Should be a deliberate human action. So you can write in the bracket, act as humanus. Act as humanus. Act as humanus and not undeliberate human action, and not undeliberate human actions. This we call as actus hominis. Actus hominis. Then the triangle diagram you have done. So you know, need not take anything, but write something for voluntary, directly voluntary and voluntary in cause. Okay, give the heading directly voluntary. Under voluntary we split that into two now, directly voluntary. Another one is voluntary in cause. Under directly voluntary, an action is directly voluntary. An action is directly voluntary. We are doing it directly. Directly voluntary. Directly voluntary when the actor ACTOR, when the actor wills the action, when the actor wills the action for himself, wills the action for himself, or as a means to an end, wills the action for himself or as a means to an end. to an end. On the other hand, voluntary in cause, we are going to write about voluntary in cause. Voluntary in cause means, voluntary in cause means that the action is not directly willed, WILLED, for its own sake, but arises from, another action, directly willed, WILLED, directly willed, arises from another action, directly willed. Okay. Full stop and continue. An action is voluntary in cause. Note, underline that sentence once you complete. An action is voluntary in cause if the actor, an action is voluntary in cause if the actor foresees, foresees, the actor foresees that it will result from another action, directly willed, For that you can give an example, otherwise you will forget over the period, right. You can write a pilot dropping bomb over the enemy military camp or military area. In that, innocent civilians will get killed. You can just draw a diagram if you want, like that. Then you will remember it, otherwise you will forget. Just note that example down. Okay, so underline that last line. It should be the doer, that is the one who is performing the action, should know that this will happen if he does that. This is why when you are writing a case study, you have to use that particular keyword, voluntary in cause. Whenever you are choosing any option, it might be A option, or it might be a B option, or it might be a C option. Whenever you are choosing it, there will be positive consequences as well as a negative consequence for that option. You have to choose the less among all the evils when you are choosing it, and you have to say, when we are performing this action, there is a voluntary in cause that this will happen, because a district collector, has to know that what will happen in the future. Without that, you can't say to the minister, sorry, I didn't know that this will happen when I perform this act. You are zero then. Okay. When you are performing the act, you should know, sir, I know that if I perform this option A, then these are the side effects which we get, these are the negative consequences, that it will turn out like this, but comparable to the plan B, plan C, plan D, plan A is having a less negative consequences, so I am going to opt for plan A. This is voluntary in cause. You are predicting that if you are performing this action, this will happen definitely. Okay, so this is how when you are writing your answers, you have to mention those words. That is why we are giving definitions for you here. So you will fetch more marks in your exams when you are doing that. Now we will go to the next topic. Till this you understand, right? So we will go to the next topic. Ethics and religion. Okay, now I have written the topic. Now you people are going to enlighten me with what the knowledge you have. So you are going to speak now, right? Before that, let me explain a small topic: ethics and morality. Always, these two words are used interchangeably everywhere. Then you may get confused, is that the both are same wherever, because in 2015 when I was going for various academy, when I was starting my career, my husband is very poor in this, he will never support me and he will never speak for me. He say you have to go and you have to look for your own opportunities. That is good, that is right, he is definitely right, 100%. So I also never seek his help, So when I was going, the first question they used to ask me is that, what is the difference between ethics and morality to me? In interview also this question was asked. What is the difference between ethics and morality? You are saying you are going to teach ethics. What is the difference? Previously, everybody thought that this is the same word which is used interchangeably. Yes, they are right. We are using them interchangeably, but there is a slight difference. You know, this is, if this is ethics, right? Then we can call this is morality. What is the meaning of this then? Have you studied Venn diagrams in your CSET? You have CSET, you will remember. So what is the meaning of this? It's a subset of ethics. Means morality is nothing but principles. A group of principles are called as morality, set of principles which we have to follow. But ethics is not only a set of principles, it is nothing but a moral philosophy. Ethics is a branch. Moral philosophy, it includes everything. The set of moral principles, okay. Then problems, ethical problems, theories, philosophy, ethical theories we can call, then solutions, everything completely. It's a complete wholesome one is called as ethics, and the morality is nothing but a part of ethics. But anyhow, whenever we are we are traveling far ahead in ethics, we always use morality in the place of ethics. It's not a fault, you can use it, okay. Instead of saying ethically true, you can say it is morally right. Yesterday also we saw ethically right or wrong, or morally right or wrong, okay. You can use interchangeably, but there is a little difference. This is the difference. If somebody asks you, you can tell. Then come ethics and religion. This is what we have to see. So now, enlighten me, students. The online students also, let them wake up. It's early morning, na?
Does religion also have some set of ethics which one need to follow?
Good. So 1 point we got. Any other point? Ethics is universal, religion is not universal.
We follow religion to make people understand the value of ethics.
It's right. You know, whenever we are speaking about ethics and religion, there are two groups. Always, if you know philosophers are there will be always a fight. Even other people, you leave it. If the philosophers are there, all are genius. You can't object the ideas of one philosopher and you can't cross it with the other one. You can't say you are wrong and you are right. So whenever philosophers are there, some groups will be in one side and some groups will be in the other side. Some group of philosophers say that ethics is nothing but it have a grounding. It has grounding in religion. You know, it has a base in religion. From religion only ethics came. This was the argument which was kept by some philosophers. And since some philosophers say that no, philosophical ethics is nothing but a philosophy subject, we said moral philosophy. It's a philosophical ethics, and it does not have any grounding or base in religion, and it comes from reasons and experiences. Okay, this is the two different opinion and views which is prevailing there in the field. And if you know, for this, let me tell some examples which you have to know. Right. Lastly, we will conclude. So in this, for some examples when we are giving, because the questions are appearing like this, ethics and law, ethics and this, that's how they will ask a question. So far, no, ethics and religion has not been asked. Sometimes they may ask in the different format. So that's why I am giving some points so that you can use it when the question appears. So what happens, you know, like I'll tell a small incident which happened. So I already told I had a daughter and she was there living in abroad with my parents. So what happens, once she come to India, I took her to our place, state, Tamil Nadu. So you know the weather is varying, completely there is different. The weather is totally different. And she got seriously ill. She fell ill, and now I want to take her to some doctor. But my mom suggested that you take to some tribal community people, so that they have some herbs with them. They will cure very easily. And yes, good, okay. So they are defining now. So what happens, she told that you have to take to them and they will give some herbal medicines which will help to cure the disease. Then I also, because she is my mother, I have to definitely hear, and I took her there. And the moment we went there, they are tribal community, you have to study about tribes. At least 2 questions will be there in preliminary related to tribes, and in mains also you will have questions related to tribes, okay. So it's a part. So what happens, they you know the Narikurava community, they live in Tamil Nadu. This is a tribal community. Last year current affairs also they appeared. They will do some tattoos. Okay, they will naturally using some herbs. They are doing some tattoos for very long ago. This is their tradition. They don't use like in the color tattoos which you go here, na. They are printing in your body. The color tattoos using some chemicals. Not like that. They use some herbs here. So what happened? I took her to Narikurava community, na, this particular place, and you know the head lady of that community was there, and she came, and I was talking with her, and she said, first when she interacted with me, she asked, what happened to your grandchild? I felt very bad. What, am I looking very old? She is asking me grandchild, and I got humiliated. A lot of humiliation was there, and I doesn't know about them properly. So I said, no, yeah, she's ill, because I am mother, na. It's again very humiliation for me. Then I said, yes, she is very ill, please check and give some medicines. Then she was checking my daughter, and then you no, see, you should give home medicines for her, and you should not take to doctor, because her body will become very weak. And she kept on advising me. And you know, I have 20 children. I am mother of 20 children, and I am very proud. And every children of me is very healthy. And she also had a child at that age. She had a child. She was 45 years old. She had a child, 2 years old child, and her daughter also had the child at the same time. Both were there. I asked her, I felt very bad. Now I thought I will definitely ask her today. Now I have to ask her, and I asked her because she insulted me. Na? Women are like that. Na? Once if somebody insulted us, we have to insult them back. That is our character. This definitely we have to give back. Then I thought, don't you feel shame? You also have a daughter, and your daughter is also having a daughter, and both are playing together, and you say you are 45 years and it's a grandchild, and you also have a child. She became very angry. Na? She threw the herbs that side, and she said, get out, get out. How dare you speak about my family lineage? See, if you are talking like this, your grandchild will never get married. You will not have any family lineage. That will get broken. Then I felt very bad. Okay, she cursed me, literally. She cursed me, and this is God's gift. How will you speak like that? How dare you speaking against God's gift? Even now people are like that. Okay, so she said it is God's gift. God is giving. We will accept it until He gives. Okay, divine command theory. Divine command theory. Whenever you are mentioning about some social evils which is prevailing, they will give an excuse to you like this. God said that. And you know, another example I can give, like when we were traveling to Rajasthan, because for my NGO activity, I hear that there is a district which they don't even have a proper basic awareness about the menstrual cycle, because it's our own. The NGO which we are running is mainly taking care of the menstrual hygiene, of women. So after hearing that, we went, and you know, I am very poor in Hindi, I also don't know to speak, and when we went there, we took a proper local guide from there, and one of sir's student who was a doctor there in the you know, the border area with Pakistan, and so he came and helped us. And when we were interacting with that ladies, you know, what they do is that they never use anything in order to during that period, the menstrual cycle. What they do is that they will take the sand, make a mat, sit over that for 3 days. I feel very bad. What is this? What habit? I never have seen this. See, we can laugh, we can do anything, but think the health of that women's. What will happen to these people? Lot of insects will be there in the sand, and how much poor hygiene they are into it. I was there 3 days. I said I will never go from here unless you take this from me and you start using it. I will never leave this place. And I was there staying. We were there outside the village. They didn't allow us inside also. So this is how the people, they say, when we inquired, they were saying that it is God given, God has given. It should be like natural, and it should flow downward, and you should not stop with anything else. They are thinking we are stopping. So this is how the people still living in India, in some corner of the India, you can find people like this. Okay, even here also you can find the people serving lassi and all, lassi, that juices, when during one period they will do. So I also felt happy when the moment I saw this, still there are some good peoples are there, people are coming, the hungry people are fed, and you know, the water are served to them. But when you ask to them, they will say spiritual charity, na? These words you can use, you should use for your essays or questions. Spiritual charity. What is spiritual charity? Spiritual charity.
Charity to satisfy spiritual goals.
Charity means you are doing some altruistic behavior is performed by you, but you are performing based mainly because God will get appeased and He will give you wealth. That is called spiritual charity. People here, they are serving people, other people, because they believe that once you do that, God will get appeased. He will feel happy and He will bless with wealth and prosperity for your family. That is called spiritual charity. This is not charity at all. Charity means what your left hand gives, your right hand should not know. That is called charity. This we still follow in our kingdom. The great Chola kingdom, what happens, still now, we used to feed n number of people. Whoever comes to our house has to leave, should not leave with the empty stomach. Either they eat or they does not eat. We don't care. If they come, they have to eat in our place, then they will leave. And they will never speak a word that we are doing this, we are doing that, we will never tell that. Whoever comes and asks something, we have to give it. That is the thing which we follow. This is spiritual charity, now getting converted into ritual charity. Ritual charity. Previously, at least they thought, okay, God is watching, we have to do it. Now they don't even know, the grandsons of those people don't even know why my forefather has did this, but as a ritual I am doing it. They have done this, so I am also doing it, this ritual. So spiritual charity got converted into ritual charity. All these things are happening. So with ethics and religion, philosophers like Immanuel Kant, this is a very important person. Whenever you are writing, Kantism is there, but whenever you are writing ethics, you should not forget about him. Immanuel Kant. Kant. He said that God is the basic necessity of ethics. Means religion is the basic necessity of ethics. From religion only ethics is derived, because when a mother is telling, suppose, let me ask a question, frankly you have to say, when you are very young, when you start to play, what your mother used to say, if you are not sharing your things with other, the neighbors' children or the friends, she used to say something, that you, no child, this is a very bad habit, you have to share your things with others, otherwise if the God will watch you, then if you are telling lies also she will say the same thing, don't tell lies, God is watching you, night he will come and pierce your eyes, then what the child will do? Child become very fearful because he believes the mother, nowadays they are not believing, that is the other case, but the child believes the mother, oh, mother is telling, God will come and he will pierce with the sword or something which he carries in his hand, my eyes if I tell lies, so I should not tell lies. Okay, because first thing, a mother is teaching an ethical value to a child only through the thread of religion, from the face of religion, from the face of God. That is why Immanuel Kant said that God is the basic necessity of religion. Although we believe that nowadays the philosophers are saying that even the philosophical ethics has nothing to do with the religion, it comes from mere reasons, that we are going to experience something in our life, from that we are going to study something, and that is called, from that we are going to frame ethical values, that is called reasons I experience. Because if I am going to beat you, you are going to feel the pain, then that is wrong, I am causing harm to you. So that is how, this is an experience, now you are feeling an experience, through this experience only the ethical values can be framed, and not through the basic of religion. But now in India and in every country we are accepting that religion is the cornerstone of ethics. Okay, right? Now you take some notes related to ethics and religion, then we will move to the next topic, ethics and religion. So then and there when we are writing it will be easy, otherwise you will also forget and I also will forget to give. Right? Take some 3-4 points related to ethics and religion, then we will study about some moral terms here, ethics and religion. Take down. Many people, it's very hard, I hope so. Ethics and religion, under that, many people get their many people, so we are, yes, they are also answering us. So Tarunji is giving perform ethical involvement, he has done, and Tanuj, yes, good. Okay, he's given social conformity, a new word. So sociology students should definitely know this, social conformity. I hope so somebody said sociology here. What is social conformity? Enlighten us. Okay, these types of words are keywords, which you call keywords, which you have to use in your answers, right? So write the point. Many people get their ethical or moral views, many people get their ethical or moral views from their religion, okay, ethical or moral views from their religion. Example, you can write that 8 principles of Buddhism. My God, 8 principles of Buddhism, 8 principles of Buddhism, she is opposing our view. And 10 commandments in Christianity, Bhagavad Gita, all those things you can put whatever you wish inside, right? So second one, some religions, second point, some religions recognize and revere, R-E-V-E-R-E. So what's the meaning of this? Deep respect, giving a deep respect for people. So some religion recognize and revere saints are holy people. Saints are holy people who provide models for us. Saints are holy people who provide models for us. And exemplify means what? Being an example. Exemplify. Try to use some new words in your answers. That will help you. Exemplify. FY. Exemplify means being an example. Exemplify virtues. 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 We should emulate. Virtues means what? The moral principles only. Emulate. We should emulate. Emulate means what? Imitating. We should imitate those. The Buddha, if you take Buddha has lived to his word. What he preached, he lived accordingly. So we have to take that as an example and we have to follow it, they are saying. He also prescribed some ethical principles for us. He lived in the same way, so we have to follow the footsteps of him. Like that, many people are there, we have to follow them. Next, philosophers. Next point, third. Philosophers, however, believe that ethics does not. Philosophers, however, believe that ethics does not necessarily require a religious grounding. Ethics does not necessarily require a religious grounding. Okay, religious grounding. Full stop. Okay. In fact, continue. Even those people for whom morality is religiously based, may want to examine some of these views, VIEWS, views using reason. some of these views using reason. Using reason, you can put inside the bracket philosophical ethics says that. Philosophical ethics is saying that reasons are the basic grounding for ethics. Okay, reasons and experience. So, philosophical ethics you can write in bracket, but last point you can conclude, even though the experiences and reasons, helps in framing, helps in identifying and framing, right, like that, identifying and framing, helps in identifying and framing set of moral principles, we cannot deny the fact that religion is one of the primary basic source from where ethical principles, religion is one of the primary basic source from where ethical principles are derived. Understood? Done? Okay. So now we will go to the important topic. We will complete it, then we will take the notes. So there are two topics remaining. I already said the first topic we have to see, and there are some terms related to ethics which you have to know. Okay. Like, see, these are the ethical terms which you have to understand. First, ethical skepticism. Okay, let me check the spelling. Yeah, right only. Ethical skepticism. Then second one, ethical subjectivism. Okay. Third, ethical, these are the keywords which you have to use. Ethical relativism. Fourth, ethical objectivism. This is further, you can divide this into universalism. Okay, another one is absolutism. Realism is also there. All you have to give ethical realism, ethical universalism, ethical absolutism, because absolutism has to be studied separately. So we are writing here again ethical absolutism. This is further divided into two: absolutist, subjectivist. Okay, absolutist, objectivist. These are mere definitions. Whenever you take any book, they will just give a definition and you can't even remember that. Now we will explain each and everything with the example so that you will remember that better, and I will give the definition for you to take down later. So what is ethical skepticism from the name? Anyone? Yes, ethical skepticism. Ethical skepticism, ethical subjectivism, ethical relativism. Have you heard this word anywhere? Huh? Yes? You will not hear. But is there new ethics and everywhere in any book, when you go into the market, walk into the market, see any ethics book, they will have this. So these are the basic terms you have to understand when you touch a ethics book. So ethical skepticism means, what they say is that, still now we are saying that ethics is nothing but a set of moral principles. People who are ethically skeptic, they will ask, is there anything like moral principle which is existing, which is, you are saying it is universally existing. Now they will ask you whether, is there any existing like that? Is it true? It is true that they will always be skeptic. They will question you that, is that true? Even if that exists, it is reliable or not. So these are called ethical skepticism. Always doubting. They does not believe in the universal ethical principles which is existing, which we speak about. Then come to ethical subjectivism. Ethical subjectivism means, so ethical skepticism means, we will go slowly because they also has to follow us. Ethical skepticism means always you are doubting the existing moral principles. Anything, any theory if you say, they will be skeptic about it. They will say whether it is true or not, we don't believe it. God, is he there? They will ask like that. Okay. The moral principles, is it there? Who gives that? Who says that that is the universal moral principles? So always doubting the existing moral principles. This is called ethical skepticism. Then ethical subjectivism. Ethical subjectivism. What is ethical subjectivism?
It's subjective to one person, which may vary from person to person.
Yeah, that is what it is equal to values. These people believe that there is no universal moral principles, as you say. Okay, there is universal, you are saying that there is a prescription of moral principles which is given, which has to be followed universally by everyone. No such thing is there, no such nonsense. Each and every person is having his own ethical values within himself, and that is nothing but the moral principles for him. That is called ethical subjectivism. According to her, killing might be a right because she might belong to some tribal community which kills people. Headhunters, Sentinelists. Recently they made news also, na? Sentinelists, where they belong?
Nicobar.
Tribes from Andaman and Nicobar. You have to remember the tribes because it will appear as questions for you. There are some 6 tribes in Andaman and Nicobar. One of them is Sentinelists. Same way there is Jaravas. They also made a news. Onjas is there. Great Andamanis is there. Great Nicobaris is there. Great Andamanis are very mutual. They are sociable. We can say like that. Sociable people. They will always talk to you. If you interact, they will talk. But the other peoples are not like that. And particularly the Sentinelists are very angry people. They doesn't like humans at all. So whenever you go to their island, they will shoot arrows at you. They are head hunters. Kill you. Definitely you will get killed. If you want to do suicide, you can go there. The island of Sentinelists. And recently a foreigner also went and he came back as a dead person. So I hope he was approaching death. He thought I have to do suicide. So he came from his country and he went to Sentinelists to see that directly and he got killed. So ethical subjectivism says that this is right according to me. Okay, this is according to my culture, this is right and I am going to follow it. There is no anything such that moral universal principles. I never believe in that. So this is called as ethical subjectivism. Ethical relativism. It is speaking about the relative ethical concepts that each and every culture is unique and special. So each and every one has their own ethical principles and it varies according to the culture. Ethical subjectivism means according to one person, that each and every person is having his value systems and it varies from person to person even within the culture. But ethical relativism is saying that Sentinel is completely the tribe. We are saying the tribe is having some moral principles that they say this is right. Same way there is a tribe called Konyak where they are sociology student, please. Remember, you have to go and prepare all these things. If you are a sociology, there is a separate thing for you tribes. I hope so.
Nagaland?
Yes, Konyak tribe are from Nagaland. They are called as head hunters. They are also head hunters. Now they have left that the designation of head hunters. What they will do is that if we have enemies, now what we will do? If we have enemies, we will beat them, we will curse them, we will scold them. That's it. But these people will slash their head and hang the head in front of the house. How many heads they are having, that is a proud moment for them, So these people are like that, violent head hunters. One time they resided in Nagaland and even now they hunt buffaloes. According to them, killing buffaloes is right. Okay, they say it's feast. For feast they will kill buffalo. If they want to facilitate someone, they will kill buffalo because they have to show the respect to the other person. So they will hang the buffalo head in front of the house. Previously it was human head, now buffalo head, that's it. They replace it with buffalo head Previously they will hang human head, so now they are hanging buffalo head. How many buffalo heads a person is having, according to his status also increases. So what they do is that, but at the same time, Todas, have you heard about Todas? Who are they? In Nilgiri mountain, in Tamil Nadu you can see these people. These people worship buffaloes. Worship buffalo. So there is a variation. This is called ethical relativism. They say you should not kill any life. Okay, you should not kill any organisms, like Buddha's principles. But these people say it is nothing except human will eat everyone. So this is the difference you have. Harming no people is only for Todas, harming no organisms. But for Konyak it is not like that. So this is called ethical relativism. According to their culture, there is some principles which they are accepting. Okay, they don't believe in the universal moral principles. Right. For example, you can also take Jaravas. Jaravas came in exam also. In a UPSC preliminary exam, you go and take the question paper and see, they were asking which national highway is passing through the Jarava habitation. The question was like this. Who will dream that a national highway will be asked? UPSC nowadays they are asking very direct facts also in preliminary paper. They were asking that Mangalyaan mission, how much payload was sent through Mangalyaan mission and all. So you have to know that this much kg was lifted and this it was sent back, sent to the space. So like this question was appearing. They also asked what is the national highway which was passing through the Jarava habitation, because it made a news, and court also said that you have to close that national highway, because what happened, the Jara, you know, like jungle safari. Have you went for jungle safari? What they will do? Lion safari is there, elephant safari is there. Elephant safari, lion safari you can go, but lion safari they will take you in the elephant and they will show the lion. They will call this as a lion safari. Same way, what they did is that human safari was practiced there. The Jarava habitation area, what they did is that they will go in vehicle. They will stop the vehicle there, park the vehicle there. This is what you do now. When you are doing lion safari, they will take you in a vehicle, they will stop the vehicle there, and the lions will be there. The lions will come near the vehicle, they will see you, then you will see them. You will take pictures and all, and you will love it. Same way in Jarava habitation, what they did is that they will go and park the vehicle. The Jarava habitation, the Jarava tribes, these people, innocent people, these people don't wear dresses. They used to come near the vehicle, and same way as you treat the animal, the people used to throw biscuits, throw, you know, the fruits, everything to these people. And because of the drought and yesterday we were discussing that due to the climate change, these people are getting affected, they don't get proper food, so they come to the road, and then these people are treated like animals by us, humans. And since they don't wear dress also, they also ask them to, Misa tribe, Africa, they drink, Maasai tribe, yes, I also heard about it. So what they do, so they used to make them dance and take videos of these tribes, and then they enjoy. So these people, so this is what the Jaravas, completely that national highway was closed. They said no humans has to cross that highway, because this is human safari is happening. The Supreme Court gave the order. Okay, so these things which came, and then that appeared as news also. Whenever I am giving extra information, try to note it, because these are the questions which has already appeared and will appear. Okay, so tribes, there is definitely a question for you. Then come for the ethical objectivism. When I am saying about ethical relativism, I am saying that according to each and every culture, the ethical values will vary. Ethical objectivism, if you see this, they believe that there is some universal moral principles which is equally applicable to everyone. That is called as ethical objectivism. In that, there is a version, you know, this is a lighter version, this is a stronger version, this is the most stronger version, we say, like that. We are splitting it into universalism, realism, then absolutism is the complete, strongest and heaviest version of objectivism. In universalism, they say that there is some moral principles which is applicable for the similar people, equally applicable for the similar. I will give definition, don't worry, I am just saying you have to observe it, right? I am giving examples. Similar, like if you are in the same situation like me, then that will be applicable. Okay, if suppose let us take like this, somebody is coming to kill me, okay, somebody is coming to kill you, then what I will do? I have to do a self-defense. No, I will harm him, I will at least beat him so that he collapses, so I will not get killed. You will also do the same thing, but according to the universal moral principles, what they say is that you should not harm other people. How can you accept it? Similarly placed people, will go for the similarly placed universal moral principles which is applicable. This is a lighter version of ethical objectivism, that is why they accepted for it. If you come to realism, they say there is a true, there is existing some true facts, true universal principles which is applicable irrespective of the belief each and everyone is having. For example, eugenics. What is the meaning of this? We also asked about social conformity, we left it. Social conformity is nothing but once the groupism, the group, we are doing some activity in order to get admitted into a group, like wearing the same color dress. If you are not wearing, then they will alienate you. Social conformity, you want conformity within the group, same way you have to behave according to the society in order to be accepted by the society. Okay, you should not say no, I will not respect the elders, I will not touch the feet of elders. If you are not doing it, what they will do? This child is disobedient. Okay, she don't know how to respect the elders, he don't know how to respect the elders, so you will be alienated by your people itself. So for social conformity, many people are performing certain acts, right? Where we were, eugenics. What is eugenics?
Study of genetical future.
It's related to some genetic features. So eugenics, already yesterday we were talking about Hitler, Hitler believed in eugenics. Hitler thought that there are certain genes which is required in order to produce the the hybrid genes. They say without any fault, genes without any fault. He said that only those genes has to be bred in order to bring in the superior breed. Like horse, we do horse, dog and all. What they do is that they will select the superior breed, superior genes, then they will breed the same thing. He told about humans also. Humans has also to be selected like that. Others who are incapable has to be gasified and killed. So is it true? This is a belief to him. According to him, this is a belief of him. But there is a universal moral principle that survival of the fittest is natural theory. You are not one who has the right to decide who has to live and who should not live. Survival of the fittest. Who gave this? Charles Darwin. What he said?
He said that inherently there are populations who tend to get expanded because of the natural drive to reproduce more and more. As a result of
they will also
competition
the competition. Yes.
Once competition comes because of other adverse situations,
yes,
those unfit
will get eliminated. Very good. So this is how when you are writing your exams, you have to be very clarified in your concept. So this is eugenics. This Hitler believed it. Even though Hitler believed it, we can't say this is true. There is some universal moral principles which is equally applicable to everyone, that realism is saying. Absolutism is the last concept which you have to know. Absolutist is saying that there is some, we are splitting this into two. Absolutist, subjectivist. They say yes, there are some moral universal principles universally applicable to everyone commonly, but they say it does not arise from the from any other world or some God has given those principles. It arises from each and everyone's heart. Okay, you also know that we should not tell lie. Telling lie is harming us and harming the other person. So you know that we should not tell lie. Your heart knows that the inner sense know that, your conscience also says you that you should not do it. So this is the origin place of those moral principles which is equally applicable to everyone. So they say that, right? So whenever you are feeling a pain, that is wrong, and whenever you are feeling happy, that is right. Don't consider the psycho and sadist here, they are different. We can't take that. Absolutist subjectivist. Absolutist subjectivist saying that no, there is a universal moral principles which transcends the physical world. That is, it is coming from some other place, they say there is a hell and heaven existing there, and from there they have given some moral principles or order, and it is universally applicable to everyone. That is why I already told they are like terrorists. They say God has given some moral principles. Religion is equal to ethics, ethics equal to religion. God has given some principles and that has to be followed by each and every one of us without questioning him. So these are the concepts of ethics. Then we will go to our topic. So with this we are completing the introduction. The first topic we will go, right? Realism is saying that there are some moral principles can be given by a philosopher, thinker, anyone. But absolutism is saying that absolutist subjectivist is saying that these principles are arising from each and everyone's heart. human, mind. You may have the same thought, she may have the same thought. If I am asking that you have to beat somebody, will you beat? No, because you know when you are beating, the person will feel pain. So it is wrong. So you know that, he also know that, she also know that. So this is a universal belief that you know that because through experiences you are something you are experiencing, and through this you understand. That is why they say each and every person is the origin, source for principles, and that principle is completely collaboratively called as universal moral principle, which is applicable to everyone and everyone is ready to accept it. But objectivist is saying that no, these principles are coming from the world which is above us. We humans are not responsible. The God has given some moral principles that transcends this physical world, and we have to accept it without denying it. We should not question. Okay, that divine command theory, na?
Yes. And then this eugenics is coming under which one?
Eugenics is a belief. I said na, the realism, opposing realism. There are some people, they believe that no, there are no such moral principles because each and every person is having their own thought. Suppose for that only I gave eugenics. Like Hitler, let us take people like Hitler. Hitler is thinking that eugenics is right. This theory is right, but it is not right, na? There is a truth which is surpassing everything. Okay, the individual beliefs, surpassing the individual beliefs. That is called realism. For that I gave eugenics as example. Now we will go to the topic, first topic. So introduction part got over. So I hope you students have understood about the introduction part. So do you understand and you have any doubt in introduction? Anyone? Introduction means everything. Let us do a synopsis of it. We have completed one topic. So introduction part, we have seen about the definition for ethics. After seeing about definition for ethics, we also saw law and ethics. Law and ethics. Then in law and ethics, we also learnt about two equations, how we have to differentiate, because there is always an interlinking between morality and law, but morality is not equal to law. That is, ethics is not equal to law and law is not equal to ethics. We also categorize law into 4 categories. In that, ethics is following in the 3rd category and law is falling in the 1st category. Like changeable and unchangeable, violable and inviolable. So we studied completely what is law and ethics. Then after that we went to human values. We studied what is values, what is meant by human values. Then HV has to be thought for the later, because I am going to connect this with the 5th chapter. Human values, the particular that sentence in your syllabus, you can see human values, lessons learned from lives of reformers, administrators, leaders. That topic will be combinedly taken along with the 5th unit, that is contributions of philosophers and moral thinkers from around the world and India. There is one topic is there. We will combine that too and study. That time I will say what is human values. We have learned values now. We have learned what is values. They are individual principles. Then we also said there is a 2 important division for values. One is instrumental value and intrinsic value. We also some stories. Through that we understood what is values. And after studying values, we also saw the differentiation between ethics and values. So hereafter we should not confuse the ethics with the values. Ethics are the standard principles. Values varies from person to person and time to time. So after crossing that, then we came to the next topic called as ethics and religion. Ethics and religion. In ethics and religion, we also saw how the philosophers are arguing that ethics is a part of religion, and some say that philosophical ethics is a part of reasons and experience and it does not do anything with religion. But we also concluded that even though now we are experiencing and identifying the facts, truth, moral principles, for initially everyone has derived our moral principles, that role of society, the topic is connected here. So role of society, educational institution, okay, role of society. I am sorry, Mr. Santosh, the cameraman is not here. So let me adjust the chair at least for you. That will be better, I hope so. I hope so now you can see me. So what happens, where we left? The role of society, educational institutions and schools in inculcating values, all these are has used a means of religion. Religion as a means in order to teach ethics for us, because we as a child will only obey to threat or command. So that is how we started our life, that ethics started in us through religion only, through fear only, through God only, the face of God. And so we said that even though now we experience, after we become matured, we experience and we find the facts, the initiation of ethics inside us has happened through only religion. So we finished with that. And is any other topic we discussed? Any other topic apart from this? Then we have see this moral values. What are the doctrines which is available inside ethics? the terms which you have to use in your case studies, everything. Right, now we can go to our first topic. So this is a basic, with this only we have to start our ethics journey. So now we are going to the first topic. You can write the topic. Now we will discuss the things under this topic, and what we have to take as notes, we will take as notes, right? Essence, determinants, and consequences of ethics in human actions. This is a topic. Under this we are going to see something. So if you see, already we have seen something related to human action. Have we or not? That we missed now. Well, when we are summarizing, we have missed that. Human actions, we also saw about that. So what are human action? How it has to be done, that also we saw that. And now, apart from that, I am going to categorize human action into 3. Okay, into 3. 1, good. Second, bad. Third, indifferent. This again we can write as moral, human action. Okay, HA means human action. Moral actions, immoral action, okay, amoral. You have to know the term, you know the meaning. I already told you have to follow a KISS strategy. Instead of writing the action which are not moral, you have to use a term called as immoral action. Okay, like this. Indifferent actions, amoral actions, like that. You have to use a term like that. Sorry, my diagram is very bad here. So because I am sitting and doing it, that's why. Now we will go for good. So with this we are going to derive some actions, some analogies we can say that. First, right, whenever you are performing an action, it should be either a good action or a bad action or an indifferent action. For example, let me give an example for you. I am throwing a stone, right, I am throwing a stone. What type of action is this? Bad? That is why we get confused, no? With throwing a stone, I am just throwing a stone. I am not saying I am throwing stone at someone, or I am not throwing stone at a dog or something. So I am just throwing a stone. It might be inside a water, or it might be in somewhere there, or it might be in the middle of the road. I might have picked it up and thrown somewhere else. So it is an indifferent action. Indifferent. It's amoral. It's not related to moral at all. It is not connecting us. Sorry, it is not connecting us with morality. We are not going to evaluate those action based on moral terms. They are called indifferent action. Suppose I am throwing that stone at a dog. What type of action is this?
Immoral.
Immoral. It's a bad action. I am just throwing, a dog is there and it didn't do anything. I just want to harm him. I want to hurt him. So I am throwing a stone at a dog. So this is an immoral action. It's a bad action, it's a bad action. Again, if you come here, I am throwing a stone at a dog which is about to harm a child. What type of action is this? Good action, because I don't want to hurt. That is not my intention. My intention is to save the child. In order to save the child, I want to throw a stone, but accidentally the stone has hit the dog. Now this is a moral action. Okay, this is a moral action. So this is how you have to differentiate your action. And if you take Mr. G. Subbarao's book, the textbook of this textbook which is prescribed here in the market, wherever you go, everybody will carry Subbarao if they want to study ethics. But don't study the entire Subbarao. You will hate ethics after that. You will never touch ethics in your life. That's the truth. So what you have to do is that in that one portion is necessary that I am going to discuss with you, that any action. See, before that you have to note this. Whenever you are evaluating, I already told what type of action you have to evaluate. Yes, no? We already discussed that an action done with knowledge, ... What type of action we have to evaluate. Now I am going to say if you are evaluating action, you have to take three things in mind. One is the object of the action, second is circumstances of the action, third one is purpose, that is aim, purpose of the action, aim. These three things has to be kept in mind. One is object of the action, second one is circumstances of the action, third one is purpose, that is aim of the action. For what purpose you have done it. Whenever you are doing an action, you have to keep three things in your mind. One is the object, that is the inner essence. We can call this as inner essence. The real meaning of the action, inner essence, real meaning, the real action, you can call like that. What action you are performing, that is called as the object. You can also write what action you are performing, what action you are doing actually. That is called as object. Circumstances is the situation in which you are performing that action. Here, what action you are performing, the situation in which you are performing that action. Okay, performing the action. And purpose, what is the ambition, aim of the action, purpose of the action, intention, aim or intention of the action. These three things you have to keep in mind, right? When you take the Subbarao book, you will never understand this. So, listen carefully here. So, these are the three things which you have to keep in mind when you are performing an action, when you are going to evaluate an action based on moral principles. You have to evaluate what the action really, which type of action which was performed, and what is the circumstances in which that action has got performed, and what is the purpose, what is the real intention of the action. Even though they might have done this action, what is the real intention, for what purpose they have done that. Three things has to be kept in mind. Have you done this? Shall I rub? So, with that in mind, you have to consider 4 conditions, right? So, we are not going to take down, so take down this. When I was telling you take running notes, I am not going to dictate. So, what happens? First one, an action, okay, an action which is good or bad, which object is, you can write whose object is good or bad, right, like that. An action whose object means you know what type of action you are performing, good or bad, remains so. Remains so. This is the first statement you have to remember. Means what is the meaning of this? Done. What is the meaning of this? An action whose object is good or bad, it will remain so. Example, right? For this I am giving an example for you. Telling lies. This is the action you are performing. The object is you are telling lies. Is it a good or bad behavior? Bad, na? Bad. Remember this? This is bad. It will remain bad only. Whatever situation you are doing it is bad. Whatever condition, whatever aim you are doing it will remain bad only. Right? Second, with this we are going for the second one. An action which is good will become more or less good. See this word, more or less good, depending on the situations. And purpose. Okay, depending on the situation and purpose. This is the second statement which you have to remember. So,
in the first case, what if telling lies to save or
that is why I am coming to the second one. We will slowly go. Crawl, then walk, then run, jump, fly. So, now an action which is which is good will become more or less good depending on the situations and purpose. For this, let us, I am rubbing this also, I think you have done it. See, this you have to use when you are writing a case study, you have to say this like this, this is the analogy which is derived. So, you know, example you can say, telling truth, we will take simple examples that will help you easily. Telling truth, telling truth. Telling truth is what type of action? Good. The object is good, right? Here the object is good. Now, you are going to tell truth under two situations, right? One thing is, let us imagine a situation, then we will write this. Okay. A couple, you are there, you are standing in a junction where the four roads meet, that we call as a junction. You are the one and only person who is standing there, and now what happened, a couple is running towards you. Okay. The moment you saw them, you understood that there is something problem, because it looks like an intercaste marriage. He told that it is an intercaste marriage, and they are chasing in order to kill the boy and the girl. Now they are running for life. They said, we are going in this direction. They will definitely come and ask you, please don't tell that we went in this direction, and they ran. Okay, now you are there. You are Mahatma Gandhi. You are following Gandhian principle. Now that group is coming with you know, that swords and all those tools, they are coming, approaching you, and they were asking, did you see somebody going in this direction, any direction? Which direction they went? Which direction? They were like this. Then you are saying, you are a Gandhi, you are Mahatma Gandhi in principle, you are following that. So you are saying, yeah, they went in the east direction. What will happen?
They will be killed.
They will be killed. So what they are saying, okay, when you are saying a truth and it leads to lose a life, it lose a life. You didn't kill that person, but the way you spoke killed that person. So this is less good. They are saying this is less good, even though it is a good, but it is they don't say it is bad. Understand that? They don't say this action is bad. They say it is good only because you are following your moral principle, you are telling a truth, but it is less good. Okay, but if you are saying telling truth in order to save a life, even though okay, you face hardships, that suppose let us take like this, you are in the work, you know that definitely if you are telling this truth, your job will go, right? Even then you are telling the truth, okay, in order to save somebody. Mr. Abhijit has gave something, eggs feeding food to others, bad if it is not hygiene, but you still serves to others. For what he has given this, I doesn't know. I think he has given some examples for us. So what he says is that to save a life even though you face hardships, this is more good. More good. Okay, because you are saying the truth. Even though you are going to lose your job, in the event of saying this truth, you want to say truth because that is the truth which is there and it cannot be hidden. So this is called more good. And if you are saying the truth and it leads to the effect now which already we saw, the voluntary in-cause event. So you know that the couples will be get killed, then that is less good. They are saying it is less good, right? Do you understand? Do you understand, everyone? Less good. Okay, less good and more good, right? Okay, for less good he has given some examples for us, I hope so. Okay, right, because he is saying even though it is the food, it is not freshly cooked and you are serving someone, you are serving a food, so you are helping them to eradicate hunger, but since it is not hygienic, so it is less good. He is giving an example like that. Good, Abhijit, you are trying to help us. Now we will go for the third statement, right? Second statement, do you understand? Understand or not? Yes. Third one. See, before going to the third statement, I am going to give you some tips for increasing your memory. That is the must need of the hour, you know. The one who is dire need that they have to clear in the next attempt. There is a simple trick which you can use now and then. What are the jobs you are doing with Even if you might be a left hand or you might be a right hand, that doesn't matter. Whatever job you are doing with one hand, you should try to practice with the other hand now and then. That will increase your memory power. Okay, suppose if you are writing with this hand, it will be very hard to write with the other hand, but you have to practice now and then. Otherwise, when you are combing a hair with this hand, you should try to comb with this hand also. So this is the work, not only the writing, they usually say you have to write, but not only that, all the other works, what are the jobs you are going to do with, you are using this hand much means this hand also to be put into use. Okay, this is the one, this side our memory will be stored. So this is very important, so we have to always exercise. Very rare, few people will use this hand, but they should also give exercise to the other, the two hands has to be used, right, now and then. That is why if you see that one who do this job, now the tea wala, chai wala, what you will do? Coordination is there now. Both has to be coordinated in order to increase our memory power. Come to the third point, an action which is bad or which object is bad, write like that, this will be better. Here we missed object, it's bad, will become more or less bad. Okay, depending same, depending on the situation and purpose. Depending on the situation and purpose. Same, we need not write again. Depending on the situation and purpose. For example, first one we said telling lies. Telling lies. What do you want to say as? You are about to say something. I forgot your names. Sorry, what's your name please? Runj? Runjun, right, okay. Tell me.
I was asking that if telling lies to say save a life.
To save a life.
Example, in a bus there is a terrorist
Okay.
who comes in and asks that what is your religion? What is the person's religion sitting beside you?
Okay.
And
then
you know that this is the religion, yet you say a lie or conform to a lie just to save this.
Save the passengers, Yeah, it's right, it's okay, but
that is telling lie, but then I want to save a life.
If to save a life, he is asking whether he is this or that, then you are saying no, but you know, one thing I have to say is that you should not use this example, because there is a lot of misunderstanding which is going on. If there is a terrorist, if we are speaking about terrorists, then we are commonly taking to about one religion, we are about to speak about one religion, and this has to, we should not encourage. Since we are having a brotherly relationship here, we are living in a very, the harmonious manner with our fellowships. So this, you should not speak this again. This I am telling for your own interest. So,
but it's a communal riots situation.
Yeah, in communal riots that it is happening.
I want to save them.
Yeah, you want to save them, but you doesn't know who they are and all. But
no, I know them. But
okay. Then you want to tell a lie. Yeah. Okay, then we will take like that. It's okay. Now we will consider this example, but in future don't use this type of examples. Even in exams, I am coming to say. So save a life. Okay, for saving a life, you are going to tell a lie, right? This is, they are saying less bad. Okay, because anyhow telling lies, object is bad, objective of this is bad. Okay, so it will remain so. But if you are telling a lie to save a life, then it becomes less bad. And if you are telling a lie to implicate someone, falsely implicate someone, in court they will do false accusations, then it is more bad. They are saying you are telling lie in order to harm somebody, then it is more bad. You are telling lie in order to save a life, then it is less bad. Okay, do you understand all the three statements? Understood? Understood. Whatever book I am challenging you today, go and take. They will give the same thing, but you will never come to understand about it, right? Because it will be given in that manner. Even the one who written the book doesn't know what it means. We will call a book if it is having no plagiarism, but here a book is called book if it is copied from various sources, right? Because we need it for our concept clarity, right? 4. an action which is indifferent, will become good or bad based on the situations or purpose. Okay. Circumstances. Situation means circumstances or purpose. For this we will take two examples. One is example throwing stone, already we saw. Throwing stone is an indifferent action, right? Yes. If you are throwing the stone in order to hurt someone, then this is bad. If you are throwing a stone in order to save someone, okay, then this is good, right? Second example we can take, this is related to the purpose we are saying. Then come to the situation. Second example, I am rubbing this. Okay, second example, if you take sex in wedlock. This is how our books are discussing. Your book is having this example, don't worry. I have not framed it newly. This is in your Subarao also. Sex in wedlock, this is an indifferent action. But situation decides. Where this is indifferent, na? How a situation will decide?
If it's a case of marital rape, then we will try.
See, we can take like this. If that person, if the husband is having wedlock. So if he is having an intimate relationship with his wife, okay, after marriage, if he is having an intimate relationship with his wife, okay, this is good act only. That is why we are going into wedlock, right? So this is a good act. But if he is having a illegal relationship, then this is a bad act, they say. Situation. Purpose we already saw. This is a situation where accidentally a person, due to some situations, he is going into sex with some other person, then this is definitely a bad act. And if it is with his wife,
legal relationship is extramarital.
Extramarital. A relationship, right? Done?
Why are we taking extramarital relationship within that wedlock only? That is to separate from wedlock.
Wedlock, it's separate, but he is married person, married. After marriage, let us take like this. If you are confused, we can say sex after marriage, okay, with this partner is good, but with some other who is illegal, then it is bad, right? Take like that, that will be better. Read? Over? Done? Understood?
And then can we again categorize with his wife into two?
With his wife into two?
Yeah.
Why?
Consent, without consent. Without consent.
So she is talking about no means no,
Yeah.
No means no. And now recently Supreme Court has also given a judgment. Go and see that also. What they gave? Man also has the same. Because what happened, the girls, they living together is now it's a fashion. It happened long before, but now it is in the peak. So what happens, the girl and a boy accepts everything and live together. Okay, now the girl also accepts and go with the boy, and boy also accepts and live with the girl. But what they did is that recently the judgment was given by the court 2 years before. A lady who has lived 10 years with a man claimed that she is the wife of the man. Now the man does not want her and she wants the property of the man equally shared to her. Okay, 50% the property has to be divided to her. The court also delivered the judgment. Now the court said that in the recent judgment it gave that, see, you are also accepting that without marriage I am ready to live with this man and you are going with that man. Once when you married only, according to Hindu tradition, you can share the property. Without marrying, how will you ask for the property to the man? Then you have to enter into wedlock, then go and live with him. It's your fault also, na? So court will not always come for a rescue. So they said that be careful. So whenever you are going into relationship with a man, and there was also a case in one of your IPS officer, your senior, now again he joined into the service. What he did is, when he was studying, he was living with a girl, living together was there in Delhi. What happened, that girl also helped this boy because he has cleared the mains, so she thought then he has definitely to clear the interview, and she prepared for him every optional subject for the mains. She prepared notes and she gave, and this person also cleared the exam and he scored the top 3rd rank, but he opted for IPS, 3rd scorer, 3rd rank holder of that year. But what happened, after getting into the service, he said, no, my mother and father are not accepting to marry you, so I want to marry a girl who is an IAS officer. And he also married the girl who is an IAS officer, and after that the girl who has helped him has filed a complaint over him, FIR. FIR is filed on him and he was suspended from the service, right? So what basis? Because this person has lived with that girl, now he has cheated this girl. The girl gave a complaint that this person cheated me, he lured me that he will marry me, and I also gave everything, like my money, my
But that's just a different perspective of seeing a breakup, like it happens with everybody.
No, she's saying it's not a breakup, na. She said it's not a breakup. She said this person has cheated me, has left me. Yeah, you can file an FIR. You can say that this person has cheated me. So that is why I am saying, women are in the higher, you don't know your rights. What are the rights you do have? If you go crying into the police station, then the men will be beaten to death. That's the other case. So whatever, that is why some are misusing it, some are misusing it, that's the different case. So what happened, this girl told that this person has cheated me and he left to the hometown. After he got into the service, he married a girl without my knowledge. Okay, without my knowledge. Breakup is that mutually you are accepting, you don't want, I don't want, I don't. And even though if you are not accepting the breakup, you can go and complain that this person has used me. Okay, she said that. This person
is there a tool to say that?
What tool?
Like generally women are doing this thing that they are in a living relationship, after some time they are like
but everybody is not accepting it, na. Some women can't accept it because this girl expected that this person will marry her because he promised her, and then she also showed some proof that these are the proofs, have it. Now his service was suspended after that, and then they went for a settlement with the girl. They went for a settlement and they settled some, I don't know how much money was transferred to her after that, because her father is also an IAS officer. That's the other case. The settlement happened properly. Now she is studying UPSC only, I hope so, and I think she left the field. Before year also she was in Delhi only, she was preparing for her exams. Now she left to some abroad or something. So this is that, and then this person, after settlement, he joined in the service. So think about it, be careful. When we are here in Delhi, you have to be careful in each and every inch. You don't know where the tiger is.
Well, even day before yesterday, I think there was a news of Delhi High Court, which has said that in cases of rape, wherein the girl withdraws the complaint because of a settlement of marriage and they get married, even then the case would not stop there, because it's a
previously what they will do, they will marry the girl to the boy who has done that, and then that will be settled.
Yes,
Ka Panchayat will do that. But it's still there in practice, they will do it. But that is why men also will see, okay, this girl I want, I will go and I will do something, and then they will marry her to me. No objections, and this happened. But now what they give, the judgment, the case still,
the case has to go on.
It should not be dissolved. The case has to go on. Okay, good. No, thanks.
Ma'am, don't you think there are certain ethical issues in this respect also, because there are interests of the girl and the boy, I mean the marriage, which has recently taken place.
That is why the
and
court.
the societal interest.
Yeah, that is why I am coming to say, not every girl is interested in it. The girl is even though she has touched the age of 18, she may have bigger dreams in her life. She is also a human being. She has her own dreams. She might have been dreamt of becoming an IAS officer, becoming an astronaut, anything. But now this person has spoiled everything of her. For the society, she is bearing something. She is not accepting. She is bearing, tolerating. Okay, so that is why the court has said, unless until, okay, the girl, I think there might be something like the girl has to voluntarily do it with her own will, that she has to withdraw the case, then it will be done. If the complainant is withdrawing, then how they will proceed the case?
If the girl goes for withdrawing, the case is not going to stop.
Then what they will do?
It has to be brought to logical end, because otherwise it will go a wrong message to the society.
To the society. Okay, then how the girl will suffer? No? Her life will suffer.
What I was thinking.
And then you have to.
Who is the victim?
So you have to ask a polity teacher. This is a law case. You have to ask what should be done at the end. But ethically, if a girl is accepting it, and then again the court is going to punish her, I think they will not punish, they will warn. And they will give a warning, because this is the life of a girl. Na? If a girl says, I am okay, I am withdrawing from my case because he is now my husband, I want to live peacefully with him. Then
the court snatches away to the prison.
No, they will just deliver a judgment that this should not be repeated. They give a message. In most cases, the court will give a message and dissolve the case. Okay, because they have to give some message to the country that this should not repeat, and a message to the girl also. If you are not wishing.
What kind of justice it is that you are marrying your aggressor?
It was taking place very long ago, very long time, na? Even because she will be outcasted. Yeah. We are living in a different society. Okay, that girl will be living in a different society. When you put yourself in her shoes, empathy, you have to feel in the empathetic manner. She also will think in various ways that why I should accept him. He is a drunkard. He is totally out of mind. He doesn't know to live in his own. He will never go for work. Everything. That person will be like that. But even though she don't want to accept him, the society will outcast her. If she is ready to face everything, she can fight against that. Okay, I don't want to marry him, and come out. You can see this is only in films, but in real life it is not possible at all. Practicality is not existing there. Even in the most developed areas of the country also having the same. They say the girl now you have to accept it. Society will talk wrong about you. You will be outcasted. Still it is existing. That is why I tell behavior change strategy is necessary for our people. There is a scheme called as, what is the scheme name? For the adolescent boy. The scheme proposed for an adolescent boy, particularly to change the behavior of a boy towards a girl. What is the scheme name? Swalamban, I hope so. Swalamban or something. Swalamban is for girls or boys. Boys, some scheme. I forget, I will tell you later. Swalamban scheme is for girls, I hope so. Let us verify and tell you. So it's particularly for changing the behavior of adolescent boy towards the women, how they think towards the women. Because in most of the society it's a patriarchal society. Very few are matriarchal. Which society is matriarchal society in India? Kasi tribes, particularly they are matriarchal. Apart from that, in Kerala, particular Nayar community, we can say, they are matriarchal. So women will lead this family, women will lead the society. What the women is saying, they have to obey. Okay, this is the way they are placed. So very few societies are like that. In others, rest patriarchal only. So we have to change the behavior. At least it should not be a patriarchal or matriarchal. It should be a equilateral society that both women and men has to speak their minds out. That it has to be like that. So now we are going into our topic. In that, essence will be given as notes. Essence means the importance of ethics in human action, and then consequences will be discussed later. Now we will go for the determinants. Okay, determinants. Of ethics in human action. For this, we will be discussing determinants. Means from one side of angle you have to see the interruptions which you face when you are acting ethically. What are the interruptions which is coming and disturbing you when you are going to act ethically? That we call as determinants. For this we can draw a triangle in that first one. Determinants to human actions. Okay, determinants to human actions. That is what we are going to see. In that first, legal interpretations. Okay, for this we can give example as, have you heard about this? Hammurabi Code. What is this?
It's a first code ever given in
India?
No,
It's very nice to hear it is given in India.
In India, it's Manusmriti.
Modern Manu. We call Ambedkar as modern Manu, who derived our constitution. Now Hammurabi Code, come to this. Hammurabi Code, what is this? Is there still there? Huh? Jewels, it is more bad. Thank you, Mr. Abhijit. So you are giving some examples for us. So if you see this Hammurabi Code, this was an ancient, it's a Babylonian code, we can call it as a Babylonian code. It's derived in ancient Mesopotamia. History started or not?
Yes, sir.
I hope so the spelling is right. History started now. What is Mesopotamia? You will learn old names and new names in your world history. You have to. So what is Mesopotamia? Ancient history also we will do. There is a question in every mains nowadays. For the past 5 years they are comparing with the Greek. Ancient Indian civilization with Greek, Mesopotamian civilization, there will be comparison every time. Most probably it is expected question, so don't take it easily. So what is ancient Mesopotamia?
Iran, Persia.
Iraq, particularly vast area of Iraq now, which is located. Then Kuwait, a little area of Kuwait. You know the Tigris, Euphrates river, na? I can consider that civilization, Euphrates. Previously, the civilization were located near the river bank. So the Tigris Euphrates river bank, this civilization was located, that is called as Mesopotamia. And now in modern time we call it as Iraq, and Kuwait is also a few part of Kuwait. All those areas coveredly, it is called as Mesopotamia in the ancient time. And there they formed a Hammurabi code. It's a Babylonian code. It has 282 laws in it. You remember 282 laws were there related to marriage, property, yes, Mr. Abhijit, it was related to that. And what they did in that, the first law states that eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. Okay, this was a Hammurabi code. Eye for an eye. If somebody is beating, Jesus Christ said that if somebody is slapping in your left cheek, show them their right cheek. But Hammurabi code said that if somebody is beating, trying to slap you in one cheek, slap them the two cheeks. Otherwise, somebody taking one eye, then you have to take one eye for them. And nowadays they are converting it totally differently. If they are taking one eye, then you have to remove two eyes from their body. So this is called as Hammurabi code. And when people are reading these types of codes, and this also varies related to slaves. You know, slaves, men. There is differentiation. For men, different codes are there. For women, there are different codes because women are considered very lowly status, and slaves also there are different codes. Based on that, this Hammurabi code was formed. And see, whenever you are reading the Hammurabi code, then what you will think in your mind? You will get a confusion, because Buddha is saying that you should not do any harm, non-violence. Gandhiji is saying non-violence, but Hammurabi code is saying that violence for violence, tooth for a tooth, eye for an eye. That is not wrong at all. So the person will, what he will do? Definitely this will interrupt the ethical way of acting, right? Ethical way of acting is going to be affected through these types of things which is still existing. And then second one is moral development. Second one we can call as moral development. Moral development and family influences. Moral development and family influences. So what is this moral development and family influences? I already told yesterday, there is also a separate topic for you, role of society, education, institution in inculcating values. So moral development is nothing but developing your value systems. So when this moral development will happen, there is a separate topic we will be studying, that a philosopher called, a psychologist name, Maurice Marcy. Her name is Maurice Marcy. She used to say that a child is like a clay. Okay, it is a duty of the society, the educational institution and the father, the parents, to shape him into a part which is useful for the society. In shaping, there are 3 periods that you will be learning separately. When you are going to the next chapter, you will be studying about her. There are 3 periods, that is from period like age 0 to 7, like that she is categorizing, and that adolescent age and then the mature age. So in each and every age, the child try to copy somebody who he consider himself as role model. In one age, he considers his father and mother as a role model, and when he starts going to school, he considers some teachers as a role model. The one who is teaching him, he takes them as a role model. I want to become like my teacher. Even now, many of you sitting here will have a role model which has created an impression in your mind. In the smaller, younger age, you might have faced some teacher who you might have loved. Still now, you know, there are some boys who have written love letters to the teachers. Teacher, I love you. They doesn't know what is the meaning of love, but they want to express their feelings, that the liking towards the teacher. So this is how they are taking a role model like a teacher to themselves, and then watching the movie. Then that is a period where they observe the stars, film stars. Then they want to become like one. And if you have a brother, then definitely he will act like one. In your home, he will act like the Shah Rukh Khan or Salman Khan, and he thinks himself as the one, and he behaves the same way. So we are developing value systems through all these things. Then the social, in moral development, apart from that, observation. First one I am saying is observation. Observation, you are observing everyone, and then you are acting same way. A. Second one is social and cultural norms. What is this? Social and cultural norms. These are the norms which are given by the particular culture, the society. See, for example, in Tamil Nadu, if you take, I don't know about here, because we doesn't know the proper system, culture of the North Indians, because I doesn't know Hindi. How will I learn the culture? That is the second one. So what happens in South India, what we will do is that, if a person is coming to our home, what they will do is that, they will greet the other person by putting two hands together. Even now they do it. After that only the hugging, everything. Now the westernization has come into India, so we will do it. But what they do is that the head of the family, they will be greeting like this or shaking hand, anything. But the head, the women, one who is coming there, the wife of the person, one who comes, they always has to greet like this only to the lady of the house. They never should touch the lady's hand or never try to hug a lady's hand. So what will happen? If a foreigner is coming to Tamil Nadu, like if he is coming and visiting some house, what happens? If a male is standing there, he used to hug him. If a female is also standing there, he used to hug. And what happens? Now the husband will take her inside, beat left, right. How dare? Because our culture does not allow it. Because he will ask, how dare you stand there? You know that he will come and hug you, why are you standing there? You are expecting that. All these things will be there, pressurizing the women. The women will be pressured by all these words, because you know women are like God in South India. They respect women in enormous manner. Same way they also pay attention to the women's word. Same manner, long back, now only they are sharing the property. Same in Tamil Nadu, very long back, they have equal rights to property. Women have equal rights to property, they have equal rights to the saying. So when a male person who is not belonging to that family sees a woman, he has to greet a woman only with folding hands, not touching her, okay? It's a sin. So these are the culture norms which have been taught to us very long back. So wherever we are, wherever we are going, we have to follow this, because it is there present in our mind, which is coming through our society. Same way in North India, I have observed one good habit, that whenever an elder is coming, you have to touch the feet of the elder. But in South India, because of the self-respect movement of E.V. Periyar, it is not there. So if an old man is coming, we don't want to touch, we need not bend and touch their legs. Only at 2 times we will be doing, one during our marriage. The other thing is one during the puberty period, the maturity period, when they keep some functions, then they go and bend and touch the leg of the elders. Otherwise, you should not touch particularly in Tamil Nadu, ladies should not touch the legs of anyone. That is why I said, they are respected in enormous manner. Ladies should not touch the leg of any person, except their except the parents and the matrilineal uncle. The mother's brother, mother's brother is equivalent to mother for a girl. Okay. If a mother is not there, then the mother's brother will take care of that girl as a mother. That is why. Okay, umbilical cord connection is there. So we have to touch only 2 people's leg. One is the mother, that is parent's leg, and the other is matrilineal uncle's leg. Apart from that, a girl should not touch anyone's leg. If she is touching, the wealth of the other person will go to the girl. They consider like that, because girl is considered as goddess Lakshmi in our state. So that is why whenever a money is to be dealt, they will call the lady of that family and give the money in the hand of the lady of the family, and anything which is going to be started should be begin with the lady. Okay, these are the culture which has been taught to us, and each and every place is having their own culture, and this is the norms. That is why when somebody is coming to your house, then the father and mother will say, why are you going inside like that? Your uncle has come here, greet him. say hello, even though you don't like him because he don't bring sweets and chocolates for you, but you have to greet him. Hello uncle, come here, how are you? How are you beta? I am fine. Even though you are not fine inside, you are burning, but you say, yeah, I am fine. Okay, please feel at home. You have to say all these things. These are the things which they teach you. So this is a moral development which the family gives you, and this also plays a part in the ethical behavior, and the family influences is separately coming, because you may ask, this is also part of this. Family influence is another part you are going to discuss, is that after getting married, what happens? Even though the boy does not like to be a corrupted officer, corrupted official like IAS, IPS officer, the women, one who marries, one incident also happened. What happened? You know that there was a IAS officer who was very genuine. He never involved in any corruption. He is very good. He is very straightforward. He was upright, very good upright person. And what happened? He married a woman. When you become an IAS, IPS officer, you don't decide your marriage. Your caste and your community will decide your marriage. Community marriage will happen. Do you know that or not? When you become an IAS officer or IPS officer, you need not select your bride or groom. The biggest person in the community will approach your house. Then the community will say, yes, you have to take the lady of that house so that our fame and name will grow. So he may be a politician, and so same way this IAS officer married. Custom also. What custom? For what he is saying as custom? Yeah, this customs. Customs, the traditions we can say. So what happens? This man married a lady of a politician, daughter of a politician. So you know, he is a very influential person there. And this lady used to take her chappal and beat the subordinates who are working under the IAS officer, except because since he is a husband, he never beat her with the chappal, otherwise he would do that also. She is that much arrogant lady, and everybody knows about her. And what happens when this IAS officer is just such an upright person in his life, and when he goes into his family, every time you can hear his sound shouting outside, leave me, and he will beat him chasing around the house. She is such an arrogant lady, and what happened? This person committed suicide at last, because she used to say that you don't know how to live. You are an IAS officer. If you are putting one sign, you can turn over 400, 500 crores of rupees, but you are unfit. Okay. See how much hard effort, hard work he has put in coming into that field, UPSC field. After coming into that field, because of the life partner, he has committed suicide, that everybody has known. And this is a very worst case. He hanged in front of the house only. There is a tree in front of his house. He committed suicide by hanging in the tree, and it's very worst case I have ever read. So this is the way the family pressures are there. In order, even if you become an IAS, IPS officer, your family will question you. Why only you? You have to be upright. There are also a lot of IAS officers having 2-3 bungalows. Why you are having one small hut and living here? These types of questions will come to you. Due to family pressure also, your way of acting ethically will get affected. Then third one, religion. Okay, third one, let me see, it's religion only. So still now you have understood that? Is there any doubt? Should we repeat anything again? Okay. Religious beliefs, same, right, only religious beliefs and experiences. Religious beliefs and experiences. Not only happening only for the male IAS and IPS officer, a female is also facing the same thing when you come to harassment. And you know that when a woman is showing a hand to you with the black dot in the center, then you have to understand what is the meaning of that. What is the meaning of that? Suppose if you are encountering some women, he is asking somebody. He's asking us, he's asking me. It's good. Right. So, if you are putting the black dot representation in your hand and showing like this, women, if she shows, then that means it is a domestic violence is happening, and domestic harassment is happening to her, and she is harassed by her own husband. Okay, own husband, own mother-in-law, own father-in-law is harassing her in the home, and she is not able to speak it out. Then she can put a black dot in her hand and show like this.
You should play with this and see.
Yeah. So you should be very careful now. Now you are grown up. If you are a child, they will not take it as a serious one. But now if you are a grown up, so now religious belief and experiences. Then see, that's why I told religion is also a major grounding in order for you to make you to behave ethically. For that, we also saw about Garuda Purana. Na? What is that book? Garuda Purana or Garuda Purana, we call in Tamil Nadu. So Garuda Purana and Garuda Purana. What is that? It's a book. In that, after death, there are some 28 punishments which they have listed out. They will. A film was also yesterday. Also we were discussing. A film was also short. So what they will do is that they will allow the buffaloes to run over you if you are doing adultery, and if you are taking interest in other man's wife, then this punishment is there, that punishment is there, like that. So Garuda Purana is suggesting someone. Then whenever you are reading this, then what you will do? You may not believe it. Even though you may not believe it, you may have some doubt now. It might be true. What will happen? It might be true. Then at least for this sake, you will try to be an ethical person. So these are another one thing you can say, religious beliefs and experiences which you face, then that's it. So these are the three factors which are acting as determinants to act as a complete ethical person, right? So these are the things which is helping you regulating your behavior, all those things. And I hope you missed one point under law and ethics yesterday. Write that point also. Similarities between law and ethics, you missed that, you take that point. Then we will take the notes, then we will finish today. So that's all today. So determinants and consequences also, we will discuss the consequences, then we will go further. Remember, I have to give that point. So consequences. So this is determinants, done. Determinants over. 28 punishments are there. At least it will be interesting, you can read it. Vikram's movie. Aparishita. In Tamil it is called Anniyan. Anniyan. The movie name is Anniyan in Tamil, and they have dubbed it Aparishit. Okay. So he comes with long hair and all. It's very weird. Even seeing him is a punishment. Why we need punishment after that? Now come here, where were we? Consequences. Consequences of ethics. Consequences of ethics in human action. So this, what we wish to share is that you may say that the act performed by the doer, if a doer is doing an act, then definitely he is the one who is going to face the consequences. That everybody know it. If I am doing a wrong, if I am telling a lie, then I have to face that, right? The consequences of that will be in my head. Even though it does not affect me directly, then it circulates and comes to me back. Even though if you don't believe in Garuda Purana and the 28 punishments, then at least they say what you do now you will serve here only in this life nowadays. They are saying, because it's Kali Yuga. Karma, it will come back to us, circulation, like circulation comes back. But consider a case, when I was there in the previous, now I have shifted the house. In previous house there was a lady who was living. She is good, she is better. But she is a married woman. The other one, the opposite, the next house lady, the one who is residing next to her, she also was of same age of her. They both got married. But I don't know why this lady doesn't like this, the girl, the next door, the woman next door. And the lady then opposite to me, she used to talk to me nicely. She is a good woman. Character wise she is very nice and very good and kind person, innocent one. But I don't know why she don't like this girl at all. Whenever she talks to me, she used to say, I don't like this lady, she is the way she walks, the way she talks, and I hate her. With this women's jealousy also will be there a little bit. So what happened, she was telling to me like that. And then one day what she did is that, she used to tell me that whenever she is hanging her dresses for drying, I think that I should drag that dress down, and so that it will fall down, it will become dirty again, she will go and wash. She feels like that. She is in that much anger on her. And one day what she did is that she went and befriended her mother-in-law. When you befriend a mother-in-law for the other lady which you want to punish, what happens? She will add flame to the fire, fuel to the flames. She was adding something like, your daughter is always speaking, your daughter-in-law is always in the phone or talking to somebody. She is coming to the balcony, she is always on the phone, something she was putting over to the mother-in-law, and now you think, what is the fate of the lady who is in that house? If the mother-in-law is treating her like her own daughter and now you are adding something to the mother-in-law, then what happens to her? So they say, even though this girl has not done something directly, you need not go and hurt that lady, you need not go and scold that lady, but you have done something indirectly. So even though you are not doing it directly, you are also there, the reason indirectly doing some action, then again they say the consequences of those actions, the thing, because this is only a tool you have used. The mother-in-law is a tool you have used in order to make her suffer. So again the consequences will be in your head only. So these are the consequences of ethics in human action. Whatever things you do directly or indirectly, the karma you have to reap. This is what they say. So what is that? Vibes transfer? Karma, vibes transfer. So we will take the notes, then we will suspend for today and we will again meet tomorrow. So we will go for the notes. First topic, essence, determinants and consequences of ethics and human action. For that you are going to take the notes. In that I already told, determinants you have to note on your own. We will dictate the essence of human actions, ethics in human action, that I am going to give. Before that, have you done that ethical moral skepticism? Have you taken the notes? Not, no? You have not taken the notes for that, right? Ethical or moral skepticism, ethical subjectivism, one line only, right? You can also draw a tabular column, the words this side and the definition that side, any way you can write. So first one, moral skepticism or ethical skepticism. Skepticism, now we are dictating the notes. So skepticism. So now you take the definition, the view that moral or ethical skepticism, under that the view that there are no valid moral principles, the view that there are no valid moral principles, definitely we will try to give the PDF. No valid moral principles at all, comma, or that we cannot know, whether there are any. We cannot know whether there are any. Full stop. Then ethical subjectivism. Ethical subjectivism. Ethical subjectivism. Okay. VISM. Subjectivism. Under that, morality is not dependent on society. Morality is not dependent on society. Morality is not dependent on society, but only on the individual. That is ethical subjectivism. Okay. Individual. Then ethical relativism. Third one. Relativism. Ethical relativism. So according to it, this theory states that, so I think you know that, remember the examples, you can also write the examples in the future when you are studying, revising it. So this theory states that there are no, what I have to repeat about the subjectivism, subjectivism, ethical subjectivism, I am repeating, ethical subjectivism, under that, morality is not dependent on society. Morality is not dependent on society, but only on the individual. This is under ethical subjectivism. Now come for ethical relativism. relativism, under that, the third one, ethical relativism, this theory states that there are no universally valid moral principles. This theory states that there are no universally valid moral principles. There are no universally valid moral principles binding on all peoples. Moral principles binding on all peoples at all times. Binding on all peoples at all times, comma, but rather all times, but rather all are valid relative to culture. That is ethical relativism. Okay. Ethical objectivism. For that, it says that the moral truth exists independently from opinion. Okay. Then write about moral absolutism. In that, absolute is subjectivist first. First one, I'll repeat it once we complete. So first we have done moral objectivism. It says that the moral truth exists independently from opinion. Then you have to write about absolutist, subjectivist. Absolutist, subjectivist. Under that, it believes that the moral law does not come from some objective fact about the world, but instead comes from within. About the world, but instead comes from within. So inside the bracket you can write, we are self-legislating, and inside the quotation you have to write, we are. Inside the bracket you are going to write, we are self-legislating, self-le, like this, self-legislating, legislating. We are self-legislating. Close the quotation. These things you have to remember. We are self-legislating according to who? Kant. Immanuel Kant has said this. Kant, K-A-N-T, short form you write, Kant. Immanuel Kant, remember his name. We are self-legislating. Okay. Right. So full stop and continue. So morality is subjective. Morality is subjective means the source of morality is subjective. So morality is subjective. But still remains universal. Okay. Understood? But still remains universal. Now absolutist, objectivist. Okay, absolutist, objectivist. What is that? Under that, there exists an under absolutist, objectivist, there exists an eternal and unchanging moral law. There exists an eternal and unchanging exist an eternal, okay, sorry, so we will be slow. So there exists, so under absolutist, objectivist, okay, under that we have to write there exists an eternal and there exists an eternal and unchanging, eternal and unchanging moral law, okay, eternal and unchanging moral law, that THAT, there exists an eternal and unchanging moral law that THAT, that transcends DS, okay, transcends the physical world, okay, there exists an eternal and unchanging moral law that transcends the physical world, transcends the physical world and is same for all people, transcends the physical world and is same for all people at all times, and places, same for all people at all times and places, okay. At all times and places. So this is my WhatsApp number. If you have any doubt and you want to ask me personally, you can message me in this. I do have WhatsApp. And suppose if you want to write something, the most important thing I will dictate here, because you have to write, again you have to read, you have to also to listen, so that you will never forget in your life. That is why I am making you to Mr. Uday, you will get a PDF. For what it is necessary, I will be giving a PDF, but what it is necessary and most important, I will be dictating in the class, because you have to listen one time, then okay, then second time you have to write it with your own hands, then it will get into your brain. That is why I am doing it here. So it is very necessary, that is why I am dictating. The other thing I will be forwarding through WhatsApp for you. If you have a group, then I will definitely forward the other things, which is not too much necessary, but you have to take it down. Those notes will be forwarded for you. Now the first one you asked me to repeat, so I am repeating it again. Write it. Skepticism, about skepticism, right? So moral skepticism, so I am again repeating. Listen. Moral skepticism, under that, the view, okay, VAEW, view that there are no valid moral principles, the view that there are no valid moral principles, at all, that there are no valid moral principles at all, okay, valid moral principles at all, or that, ORR, that we cannot know, whether there are any, okay, whether there are any, right, whether there are any. So I hope you have noted. Then if you want the mail ID, you can take. Right. Then we will see, in this we have missed one thing. I will just discuss, you just note in your mind. This will conclude this class, and I hope so. The importance I can forward in the WhatsApp. If you have a group, or if anybody can forward it in the group, you can do it. Right. You don't have group. Every institution is having a group now. WhatsApp group, they do definitely do have. Ask your administrator, who's there, who's administering, who's managing. You have to ask him. Okay, okay. No WhatsApp group.
We can make it right.
You can make it. You can make it. You can seek the help of the administrator. You can make it so that those who are in the online can also get connected to you. So it's better to be a group. Then see, in this one thing we have missed, that is egoism. Egoism, but this is not important because it's not existing now. Okay, now we are not using this concept in our theories, because egoism, there are three types of egoism. One is psychological egoism, another one is ethical egoism. So I am not dictating the notes, just listen. Egoism, because because all the books are discussing this, and if you don't know what it is, then it is not good. So I am just saying ethical egoism. Another one is rational egoism. Egoism is divided into three, right? So what is egoism? What is ego? From the word you have to understand something. In the exams they say this, when you are writing a mains, even though you don't know anything, you have to split the question, then understand and give something in there. At least 1 mark if you are gaining, you are ahead of your competitor, right? So egoism is nothing but you are thinking for your own self interest. Psychological egoism is saying that that it is natural tendency for humans to think in the interest of their own, right? Even though if you note, then they are asking what about the altruistic people? And sociology will also be studying about the suicides, different type of suicides. Mr. G, what is your name? Rishabh. Mr. Rishabh is from sociology background. I hope so you know anything about that? Suicide. You will be studying different types of suicide. I hope so. If you are not started to study, then you will be facing in the future that there are some 4 types of suicide. In that, altruistic suicide is also one form. Altruistic suicide. Who is doing that altruistic suicide? Suicide means what? Killing oneself. So altruistic suicide is nothing but a sacrifice they are doing in order to save other people. Our army men, our military officials is doing altruistic suicide in the interest of the mother nation. That is altruistic suicide. Example. So what they say is that then these type of people are not having ego. They are saying these type of people are not having ego. What you say is wrong. Then the psychological egoism saying that no, it is definitely right, because if you say, see, altruism is also a type of egoism. For example, let me tell a story. A person was crossing a bridge. He is very good, kind and innocent person. But you know, when he was crossing a bridge, he saw that a piglet. You know piglet? What is piglet? Small pig. So the small pig has fell into the water, and now he is shouting for life. Please, when an animal has fallen down, it will be screaming. Screaming that somebody will help me. I will come out. Yes. Then ego. He is saying ego is attitude. Ego is attitude problem. We say attitude problem. Yes, attitude problem. Ego is one type of attitude. He is saying, yeah, right. So now we will go for this. So what happens now? The piglet is screaming for life, and the man, when he saw that, and he disliked piglet, pig. He don't like pig at all. Some people don't like some animals, so he don't like pig. But he feels he saw the piglet and he crossed the bridge. Then the moment he crossed the bridge, he came back after some time. After traveling some distance, he came back again, and he saved the piglet from the water. He made him come out of the water, and he left for home. Then his friend was seeing these things, because he was walking along with his friend. Then his friend asked him, "Why you did this? You don't like pigs at all. How you touched the piglet and all?" This is I am very astonished. He was saying like that. Then he said, "This is how it shows that you are kind and innocent person." Then he says, "There is also some my self interest is lying, because I have heard the voice of the piglet screaming. If I go and sleep today, then I will never sleep peacefully, because the scream will always be there, hearing in my ears that I have done something wrong, that I have not helped someone from their danger, I have left them like without caring." That is why they say, even if you are not involved you are not hurting someone, you are not involved into that crime, you are watching that crime to be done, then you are also a part of that crime. So he said that is why I helped the piglet to come out, so there lies my self-interest. So he says ultimately those who are doing altruism also is doing in their own self-interest, that is called psychological egoism. For some that doesn't matter, if somebody is saying I am hungry, for 3 days I have not eaten, please give me something, with the face that, no, but some people will never care, they don't care at all. But some people, if you see when they see these type of people, their face will change automatically. Oh my God, even though it is true or false, right, they are lying or they are saying the truth, that doesn't matter. But when they hear the words and when they see the pale face, they feel very bad. If they don't help also, they can't sleep. So their own self-interest is lying in it. It is called psychological egoism. That is the psychology of a person. They say it is the ego of each and every one that they have to serve their own interest, even including the altruistic people. Then the ethical egoism is saying that there is a ethical theory which supports that it is right if a person is acting in its own interest. That is why now we are rejecting this theory. We are not following this ethical egoism theory, because ethical egoism says that it is right to act in one's self-interest. If you say like that, what will happen? Murder, rape, theft will happen everywhere, no? Because his own self-interest to become wealthy. Wealthy he will follow any means. He will go and kill a person, loot his money, okay, rape a small girl. So this ethical egoism is not existing now. We are not ready to accept this theory. We totally rejected this theory, and rational egoism is saying that that egoism, it is rational for every human to act in its own interest. It is rationally a human will act in the own interest of his self-interest. That is rational egoism is saying everything is putting the same concept but in different manner. Okay, it is saying it is natural. Psychological egoism is saying it is a natural for a human being, because as a human you are born, you are an animal. You are an animal, no? We are an animal, man is an animal. So as an animal, every animal has its own self-interest. Now if animal is going for hunting, will it hunt for other animals? It is hunting for its own sake, for its own eat, for to eat, to survive, it is doing. Same way, and a man is also an animal, so he is also in the same. Naturally it is this concept. Then ethical egoism saying this is a theory. According to a theory, it is right that a person has to act in his own self-interest. Rational egoism saying rationally if you think also, that is reasonably also if you think, that is the survival of the fittest theory is there. According to it, each and every human will act in his own interest in order to survive in this world. That is nothing wrong in it. So these are the concepts of egoism. So with this we are concluding today's class. So it's good that we see everyone here, and tomorrow also we will see everyone. So goodbye. Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow.